Hey, Toon Army. Wondering what our lineup's going to be? Want to know?
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon Review, where tonight it is the FA Cup third round. Newcastle United travel to Hillsborough to face Sheffield Wednesday of League One. Not a very easy game. Lots of interesting team news, lots of talking points before this game. And, obviously, Maxi is going to take up most of the headlines. Some people saying he's not there. He's just rested for Tuesday. Of course, there's rumours going around of a rift with Eddie Howe. Who knows until Eddie actually tells us what's going on. We don't know, quite honestly. But a very interesting team selection, I have to say, for Newcastle United ahead of the game. We've gone with Dubravka, Manquillo, Lascelles, Botman, Lewis, Longstaff, Anderson, Joe Linton, Richie, Murphy, and the returning Alexander Isak. I did say in the preview show on Thursday night that I thought Dubravka and Isak might get the starts, and they have, which is very, very surprising to quite a few people. But obviously, the main talking point is there is no Maxi in the squad at all. Not at all. He's not there. Obviously, some of the big players are on the bench. But the starting lineup for me should be strong enough to get past Sheffield Wednesday. It is what it is. We'll come on to Maxi in a minute. Sheffield Wednesday, they go with Dawson, Palmer, Iorfa, McGuinness, James, Johnson, Deli Bashiru, Byers, Vaux, Windass, and Smith. So Sheffield Wednesday, interesting lineup for them. Obviously doing very, very well in League One, and obviously doing a lot of concentrating on League One as well and seeing where they end up. But this is huge news on Maxi. Obviously, it is what it is. I'm quite surprised in a way that this has happened. Now, a lot of people are looking back to Maxi's tweet the other day, saying that he was. It was a new chapter for him and things like that. And people have looked into that and thought, well, does that mean that, he's leaving? Does it mean he's gone? I don't know. A lot of people are coming out with very, very different speculations, you might say, about what is going on at Newcastle United, especially with Saint-Maximin. I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest. I just don't know. If he's fallen out with Eddie Howe, then, as far as I'm concerned, good on Eddie Howe for sticking to his guns. We know that he likes to have a good feel factor in the dressing room. And he's got that at the minute, and that's what he wants to keep in that dressing room. There is no doubt about that in my eyes. We'll have a look at your comments and see what people have been saying. Now, there was a lot of comments come in before the show actually started, mainly talking about Maxi. So I do appreciate that. The Clone Lads is just missing Bruno in the middle now with Isak and Botman playing. Stu, good evening to you. No SM, not travelled, definitely something not right. Julie J, good evening to you. Abdullah, he's not playing, correct. Matt's good evening. Clark, he said some reports earlier that ASM and Eddie had a fallout and that he wouldn't be travelling. Well, he hasn't travelled. Now, you can look at it two ways. Does that mean that he has fallen out with Eddie Howe? Does it mean that maybe Eddie's just looking at Tuesday night and thinking, I don't need to play Maxi in this game. I don't need to risk any more injuries and things like that. But of course, we will find out as time goes by exactly what is going on there. Paul Sales says it's going to be a good game. Imran says he's excited to see Isak on the Toon team sheet. Indeed. Good evening, Stu. Tony. Anders says Fraser has to be finished. Then he doesn't get in the team today. Richie gets picked over him. Probably as nobody will play the wages he's on. I agree with that. He's on high wages. But listen, I think Fraser's on his way out the door this month. I really do. I'd be very, very surprised if he's not. But I don't know. It's very interesting. I just need to turn my virtual background off on here. And then we can see Dubravka's shirt properly. There you go. So, yeah, and a little surprise Dubravka's in. He's just come back, obviously, from a loan spell at Manchester United. Nick Pope not involved at all today. Darlow's on the bench. Are you happy to see him back? I am, I have to say. I'm pretty pleased. I'm interested to see how he does. And of course, Keith's gone with a wild lineup. I mean, yes, it is a wild lineup, but we expected quite a few changes, didn't we, today? Everybody's saying hello. Dubs in goal. Wow, never thought I would see that. I know. Nobody thought Dubravka would be back, but listen, he is. He's back. He's in goal. He's obviously, Nick Pope's the number one. That's not going to change. But the fact is, he's back and he's in goal for us today. And look, he's playing. He's a Newcastle United player again now, and as far as I'm concerned, we give him our support while he's on the pitch for Newcastle. Santosh, good evening. Trolls, good evening to you. And by the way, guys, the usual applies for these watch-alongs. I'm not watching it on BBC TV. I'll be watching it on my normal streaming service, so I'll probably be behind you. Now, what you want to do is, if you want to pause your TV and listen to the commentary, just pause it until I say kick off. I'll start my clock and you'll be level with me. It's entirely up to you, but please, no spoilers in the chat. There is people who won't be able to get to the game, won't be able to see the game, and will be listening to it on commentary. Please don't put in the chat any spoilers. They will be removed, and you will get a warning and then be removed by the mods, and we don't want that to happen. We want everybody to have a good watch along and enjoy it and interact with everybody in the chat. But don't talk about anything that happens in the match until I've commentated on it, please. And that way, everybody's up to date at the same time. So I'd appreciate that, because we don't want to throw anyone out the chat. Matt says, evening, everyone, from an early morning down under. The Pope needs a rest to recharge his holy aura. Indeed, he does, Tony, and that's exactly what he's doing. For once, lots of strength on the bench. Yes, we do. Plenty strength on the bench. David says, looking forward to seeing this lineup play. Yeah, look, it's not a bad lineup, is it? I mean, Elliot Anderson's in, Richie's in. Now, for me, it's going to be interesting to see where, I've got Elliot Anderson to the right of Joe Linton in midfield there. I don't know where Elliot's going to play, because Jacob Murphy's obviously in, and so is Matt Ritchie. Now, Matt Ritchie's not a centre midfielder, never in a million years. So I'm just wondering if Longstaff and Joe Linton will hold back a little bit and give, Elliot Anderson that number 10 role, a free role, to see what he can do against Sheffield Wednesday. I think that would be a good idea, and I think a lot of fans would appreciate seeing what he can do in that position. So for me, exciting stuff. Matt Ritchie's an interesting one. I really didn't see him playing. I have to say, I thought it would have been, we all said Maxi, didn't we? But it's not Maxi there. It's Matt Ritchie. So I got a little surprised at that. However, good on Matt Ritchie, and I hope he has a good game today, sets up a couple of goals. I'm really looking forward to seeing Isak back. I think this is a perfect game for him to get 90 minutes under his belt. And Eddie wouldn't play him unless he was sure he was fit. Matt, thank you for your membership. I'm not sure whether that's a new one or continued, but thank you and welcome to the Toon Review family. Remember, you can join the Toon Review and be up for lots of prizes if you hit that join button just underneath there, the green join button. Please do like the stream as usual if you do enjoy it today. And if you are new to the channel, like so many wonderful people have of late, please do subscribe. 16,072, as you can see there. Hopefully we'll see that go up during the course of the stream itself. So please do subscribe if you are new to the channel. And as usual, you can donate if you wish to by hitting that $sign at the bottom of the live comments, and that will take you through to a payment method. So thank you in advance for that as well. Let's get some more comments. Isak hat-trick coming, says Imran. Santos is Richie on the wing. This is interesting. Faramir, good evening. Chris says Maxi is ill before anyone starts believing that idiot from a certain YouTube channel. That's interesting. I haven't heard that, Chris. If that's what Eddie said, I have no need to doubt him, or if that is the case, then fine. But look, there is a certain YouTube channel that says things are going to happen. Things are, in advance of telling people before the clubs announce it. Pay no attention to anybody until Newcastle United have told you what's happening. Simple. So that's interesting. Spacebar says it could be a Richie Swan song. It could indeed. In Eddie we trust. Absolutely we do. People believe anything they read. I swear, no evidence with regards to ASM. If Craig Hope says he's ill, I'm more inclined to believe him. Yeah, Remember, there has been an illness going around the club. Callum Wilson was out only 2 weeks ago with an illness. Why can't Maxi be ill? Everybody can be ill. He hasn't travelled because he's ill. But people look for likes and look for subscribers by saying different things that aren't true, quite frankly. And I don't do that on this channel, nor do my co-hosts. Nor does anybody link to the channel. We don't. We wait till the club announces anything and then we'll talk about it. I'm sick of hearing all this garbage about, the signings coming in on Monday. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. Wait till the club announce it and then talk about it. It's just ridiculous, but it'll never change. Good evening, Woofer. Matt says a very interesting lineup. Indeed, it is. Good evening, Gareth. Hope you're well. Not the lineup we all expected, but good to see Isak back at 2-0 wins to Solo. Faramir says he forgot that Matt Ritchie played for us. Julie says, wait until Eddie addresses the ASM situation. Absolutely, Julie. Absolutely. There is no need or no point in speculating anything until the manager has come out and said what the problem is, or if it is a problem. If it's an illness, he just gets over the illness, gets on with it, and we move on to another day. Simple as that. Just had a £10 super chat from Sophia. Thank you very much, Sophia. Hit that like button, everyone. Thank you very much, Sophia. Really appreciate that. Fair enough says, I think Paul said Dubes and Isak would start. I did. I was the only one that said that, and people looked at me as if I was bloody mental. But you know what? It was just a hunch. I didn't have any insider information or anything like that. It was simply just a hunch that they would, and it's turned out that they are. But Isak won't finish the game. There's no way in hell he'll finish the game. It's his first game back. But I'd love to see him get a couple of goals. That would be nice. Just to get him going again. Would be. Rich says, good evening all. Now I'm keen to hear what Alex has to say about Maxi. It's all speculation, of course, until confirmed either way. Exactly. It's speculation. Timmy Jr. says, where's Danielle? She stepped down from the channel. She's got a lot going on behind the scenes, so she stepped down. Now, whether she'll be back or not, that's entirely up to Danielle. We won't be replacing her, but we'll see where Danielle lies once she's sorted things out. James says, can't wait to see Isak try to prove a point against these lot. He'll be up for it. He will be up for it. Keith says, looking forward to this. Few missing first-team players, but still have enough to win. Cannot wait to see Isak. 3-0 to us, Isak, Brace, and Anderson. I'd love to see Anderson get a goal, to be honest. I really would. I really would. Dean says, spot on with a predicted lineup, Paul. Do you think Dubs is staying? I don't know. Quite frankly, I have no idea. What I think, you could look at it two ways. You could say, right, is Dubravka going to stay and be number 2, which we know he doesn't want to be. He made that quite clear before he went on loan to Man United, and so did his agent. However, things have very much changed since then. Does he want to be part of this massive rise from Newcastle United? I would think he possibly does. Or it's putting him in the shop window. Get out there, play against Sheffield Wednesday, and drum up some interest, and we'll try and get you a permanent move, if that is indeed the case. We don't know, of course. We don't know. Spiders going 8-0. A proper spanking. That would be interesting. Any truth in the rumours about ASM? Not saying anything until the club say anything, Brian. I think that's the best way to go about it. Good evening to all, says Paul Tully in the mods. Hoping you're good. Great to see Isak back and Lewis getting a game. ASM's absence more likely just to prepare for Tuesday. Well, it's one of three things then. It's preparing for Tuesday, he's ill, or number 3, he's fallen out with Eddie Howe. So we'll just wait and see until somebody actually confirms it from the club. Craig Hope said illness. So if Craig Hope says illness, he's not going to put that out there and try and jip anyone, is he? He's going to be, he'll be honest about it and say, look, it's just an illness. That's why he didn't travel. Somehow Paul knew Dubravka and Isak were starting. Somehow I did. Michael says, our lasses, we're not going to do that. Stiff, good evening. Mackham's through to the next round of the FA Cup. I'd love it if we got to get them. Love it. Yeah, we've got to get through this one first, though, guys. That's the most important thing right now, is just getting through this. David says it's weird. He hasn't travelled. Well, yeah, it is. But if he's ill, then is it really? You did say, Paul, egg on Stato's face yet again. Look, it's opinions, and it was just a hunch. I don't have any insider information. It was just a hunch that I thought Dubravka and Isak might start. Because for Isak, certainly, it's the perfect game for him to start, in my opinion. You know, it's a cup game. It's against a League One side. He can start, you know, getting that match fitness back, which he will need. So for me, I don't mind it at all. Everyone is saying there's been a Howe Maxi bust up, yeah, but how everyone but the club haven't said anything yet. So how the hell do we know? You know, we just have to wait and see, guys. A few surprise names in there. Great to see them getting minutes, Paul. Yeah, absolutely. You know, and that's what the squad's all about, and that's what Newcastle United will be trying to do in future years. Of course, they'll be trying to build this squad to make it even better in the years to come, and I think that can only be a massive positive for Newcastle United. To be honest, a huge positive indeed. But you know, we wait and see. I mean, I'm really looking forward to this game. I really am, because I think you know, we can do a lot. You know, there's a chance of getting some goals, which I think we really need. We want some goals, don't we? And just get through. We don't want to draw and things like that. We want to get through and get through comfortably. A couple of minutes before kickoff, guys. I'll just set my stream away so we can make sure that we've got everything up and running for this game. So again, please, no spoilers. I can't say that enough, because it does spoil it for some people who are watching the game that don't like it when people put spoilers in. Just wait till I've commentated on it, and then we can all do the same. But if you're ahead of me, pause your TV. I know you can do that now. Just hit pause and then wait till I say, right, we're underway. Then restart your TV and we'll be exactly at the same point. You can do that on modern day TV now. So, you know, you can do that as well. And then you'll be alongside me. So please respect that. Because like I say, we don't want anyone to get thrown out or anything like that for silly things like putting spoilers in. Just wait till I've commentated on it, and then we can all watch it together. Abs says one thing's for sure. No one really knows what's going on with Maxi. Just hope we see the best of the years to come. Hope the fans show him some love. Doug from the Dugout channel, good afternoon to you, buddy. Hope you're well. Sheffield Wednesday is second in the league, 15 points behind Plymouth. Indeed, they are. They're 15 points behind, a long way behind Plymouth, Argyle. But Plymouth are having an absolutely wonderful season. Currently, they've just done the toss and the change in ends. So Newcastle will be attacking the home fans in the first half. Sorry, the away fans in the first half. Soli says, I'm a huge Maxi fan, and I do not know the truth about Maxi. If it is true, he refused to travel because he wasn't starting, then I want him to go. No ifs or buts. Again, speculation. You know, Craig Hope has said he's ill. I'm not doubting that he's ill. Absolutely. Tom's inside Hillsborough. So good evening, Tom. Hope you enjoyed the game, buddy. We're very, very close to kickoff now. Newcastle in their changed white and green. Josh Windass will kick off for Sheffield Wednesday, of course, the son of the legendary Dean Windass, of course, who's been through the mill with mental health since he finished playing football, but it's good to see him on the other side now. So we're ready to go any second now. And we're underway at Hillsborough. So the third round for Newcastle United is underway. How are the Toon? And immediately a cleared header from Jamal Lascelles as it was floated into the Newcastle area. Joe Linton up to Elliot Anderson, who does look as if he's starting that role. A long ball out to the right-hand side. Actually, it's Matt Ritchie playing on the right. So Murphy probably gone to the left. That's interesting. Of course, he does like the inverted wingers, of course, Eddie Howe. And that seems to be the way that he's gone. The ball is with Manquillo at the moment for Newcastle. Just rolls it back to Big Joe. Plays it inside. Nice little touch by Anderson trying to spin. Just couldn't quite get round him. Jamal Lewis, big match for him today. You know, he's got to be right on song. It seemed like the forgotten man. But Newcastle United have a free kick just over the halfway line here. So in the first minute, we are still goalless at Hillsborough. But Jamal Lewis is going to take this free kick for Newcastle United. Remember, the big guns are on the bench today. Almiron's there, Bruno's there, Trippier's there, but Eddie won't really want to play them if he can get away with it, because obviously we have a huge game at home to Leicester City on Tuesday night, of course. But it is going to be free kick for Jamal Lewis. He's going to float this in. In it comes, it was actually Richie that took it eventually. It comes out to Lascelles, plays it nicely back to Manquillo, back to Lascelles. A lovely little first touch onto Sean Longstaff now. Longstaff into Manquillo. Tried to play the 1-2, but unfortunately it wasn't on, and it's gone for the first goal kick to the League One side, Sheffield Wednesday. Darren Moore just in the picture now, the Sheffield Wednesday manager. What a fantastic job he's done for Wednesday. He's got them challenging again. And he will be hoping that they can rise up to the championship for next season. Very important, of course, that they do that. They're a huge club, Sheffield Wednesday, a huge history. But look at those Newcastle fans, man, just packed in again behind the net. Julie J saying Maxi is ill, no row with Howe, and she's important, didn't know it. Good header by Elliot Anderson there. Up in the air again. Anderson again winning it, but it's played forward by Sheffield Wednesday. Down the right-hand side they come. Botman is there, as is Jamal Lewis. But the cross does come in, but it's very, very overhit and disappears behind, for a throw-in right by the corner flag. Good work that by Smith from Sheffield Wednesday. He had Botman and Lewis to deal with, and he managed to get a cross in, but it was way overhit. Now Lascelles plays it to Manquillo. Newcastle try and play out. I always worry when I say play out when Lascelles is involved. Nice little dummy there. Sheffield Wednesday now just trying to get some control of the ball. Newcastle once again swiftly breaking out of defence to shut Sheffield Wednesday down. Long ball played in again. Lascelles is underneath that one. Matt Ritchie now. And back to Martin Dubravka. His first touch back at Newcastle United in a competitive game. Jamal Lewis now on the left-hand side. Plays it up the line to Murphy. Murphy now, a bit of time on the ball. Clips it forward towards Alexander Isak. Isak gets there. It was slow defending. Oh, quality dummy by Isak, and then he's held back and wins a free kick. Wonderful skill from the Swede there. He got away, and he totally outdone the Sheffield Wednesday defender. Really just perfect play from Alexander Isak. But unfortunately, the Sheffield Wednesday guy just holds him up, bear hugs him, and then pulls his shirt. And, of course, it's a free kick to Newcastle United. Fantastic skills from the big Swede there. Boy, how we've missed some of that over the last few weeks while he's been injured. But it's good to see him back. Matt Ritchie is going to take the free kick, of course. Now, this is level with the penalty area, so he can get a good cross in here. We've got some big guns up there. Certainly Botman. I'd love him to get a goal. Lascelles is up there as well. Ritchie's free kick is a brilliant one, and it's headed over the bar. And the referee gives a goal kick. It is Elliot Anderson that got his head to it. He thought it was a corner. But the referee, and no doubts, along with the linesman, that is a Sheffield Wednesday. It is. Yeah, it's a goal kick to Sheffield Wednesday. But that's much better. Good ball in that from Matt Ritchie. And Anderson's already won quite a few headers already in the first 5 minutes of this game. But there you go. James, hello from the Cayman Islands. Good evening to you. Matt says it took Isak 3 minutes to do more than Chris Wood this summer. I can't disagree with that, actually. Julie J says she's so happy Isak is back. Absolutely. Long goal kick now. Headed on. Lascelles is under this, and it's a terrible header from Lascelles. It's straight to a Sheffield Wednesday player. And that was awful. He tried to head it to Manquillo, and it was just... and now he's flopped over backwards, but he's won a free kick. I mean, a couple of dodgy moments there for the captain. I'm not sure where his first header was trying to go. He was trying to sort of nod it down to Manquillo. It was nowhere near him, and Sheffield Wednesday picked the ball up and went straight on the attack. But never mind. Here's Big Joe for Newcastle. Rolls it out to the right-hand side now with Javi Manquillo. Manquillo turns, goes back to Jamal Lascelles. Lascelles, in turn, goes back to Dubravka. Sheffield Wednesday doing some pressing of their own, trying to keep Newcastle on the toes. Here's Jamal Lewis on the left-hand side. Slide tackle comes in, and we win a throw-in. Oliver says he can't wait to see Isak run the lines with Miggy in behind. Yeah, looking forward to all that to come, of course. Oh, that's a bad throw from Lewis. And Sheffield Wednesday just wide of the post. And again, dodgy defending from Newcastle. It was an awful throw from Jamal Lewis, and Murphy was nowhere. I mean, actually, it was overthrown by Lewis. Murphy wasn't switched onto it, and the shot just wide. That could have been a catastrophe for Newcastle, and they really do need to wake up here. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, it's played forward now, and Matt Ritchie's given chase down the right-hand side. Sheffield Wednesday wanted a free kick for a foul by Isak. No way in hell was that a foul. And it's cleared by the goalkeeper. Up the pitch it goes. And again, trying to give Botman some hammer. Sheffield Wednesday have the ball, played forward. Lewis intercepts and gets a hold of the ball. Sean Longstaff now for Newcastle. Nifty little pass into Lewis. Lewis breaks over the halfway line for Newcastle. Into Isak. Great play by the Swede again. Turns. Finds Matt Ritchie out on the right-hand side. He's got an overlap from Javi Manquillo. He gives it to Manquillo now. Chance of a cross for Newcastle. In it comes to the box. Isak! What a save! What a brilliant save from the goalkeeper there. Ah, God, that was destined. I mean, Isak probably should have put it a bit wider than the goalkeeper, to be honest. That was close. Anthony, no spoilers, please. Great cross. Isak's header. It was a great reaction save, to be honest, but he probably should have put that a bit wider than it did. And Richie's ball floats over. Lascelles goes down. I don't know what he's appealing for, but there you go. Anthony, don't put anything in until I've commentated on it, buddy. But it was a good save. It was very close to the keeper, though. And Isak will be disappointed he didn't put that a bit further wide of the goalkeeper. And then it was 1-0. It was in the back of the net. But that's positive stuff. Thanks, Doug. Appreciate that. Ab says, will this be Cambridge all over again? Absolutely not. But I do think Isak should have actually scored. It was a big chance. Oh, Lewis is all over the place, guys. He's lost it again. And here comes Sheffield Wednesday bursting down the left-hand side now. Chance of a cross. He's trying to go to the byline. He's got Manquillo and Joe Linton. The offside trap didn't work for Newcastle. In comes the cross for Wednesday, but that's going to be Dubravka's all day long. I'm worried about Jamal Lewis. He's had a very rocky start, guys, to say the least. Crazy. But anyway, here we come now with Elliot Anderson. Into Isak. Back to Longstaff. Longstaff's got Joe Linton in a bit of space on the halfway line. He turns. Rolls it down to Matt Ritchie. Ritchie has Manquillo in support and plays it back to him. Across to Longstaff. Longstaff, Joe Linton, it just doesn't work and there's nobody there. Played forward now into nobody. And it's back with Dubravka. Yeah, if you're slightly ahead of me, guys, just pause your TV until for a couple of seconds and then you'll be level. Lewis is having a mare, guys. He's just lost the ball again. He's managed to win it back, but his control has been shocking so far this first 10 minutes. Anderson clips a ball in to nobody again. Sheffield Wednesday intercept the ball. But that's well played by Anderson to win it back. He nips round one. Was that a foul, says the referee? No, just a throw in. Jamal Lewis is going to take the throw in again, and he's looking for some support to give it to. Of course, very, very early doors this. I mean, Lewis hasn't played for a while, obviously. It'll take him a bit of time to get up to match speed, I would imagine. But we can't risk conceding goals. That's the problem. Because Sheffield Wednesday aren't a bad side. You know, yes, the League One, but, you know, they'll be up for this. Newcastle third in the league. It will be a hell of a scalp for Wednesday. But anyway, here's Manquillo down the line looking for the run of Isak, but he would have been offside, so he stopped his run. And it's back with the goalkeeper now for Sheffield Wednesday. James, Maxie's ill, apparently. The reports from certainly the journalists are saying that Maxie's ill. That's why he's not involved and didn't travel, unlike some speculation on other places on YouTube. But here, Wednesday have the ball now, bringing it forward over the halfway line. And they'll certainly want to, to prove they can match Newcastle today. Last time, of course, they met in a friendly a few seasons ago. I was down there for that. Long ball out to the left. Can he keep it in? Yes, he can. Good bit of play, but Manquillo was there to welly it. Clears it right up the pitch. Johnson there did really well to control the ball, and then but Manquillo was right on it very, very quickly there. Wednesday are up for this. Yep, I agree. Back with the Wednesday keeper now, who's had to make one big save in the first 10 minutes from Alexander Isak's header, but he should have really scored. Put it either side of the goalkeeper. It was 1-0, just too close to the goalie, and he managed to get a hand on it. To be honest, he did well because he got a firm hand on it and cleared the danger. Sometimes a goalkeeper can save those, and it just bounces loose and then flies up to a striker. So he did well to clear that. Here's Sven Botman for Newcastle. Swings it right-footed, right out to the right-hand side, looking for Manquillo, who got a head on it. Ritchie tries to play the 1-2 with Manquillo, who's gone chasing after the Wednesday defender, who's fallen over, and Manquillo is round the goalkeeper and crosses. It doesn't get to Isak, though. Sheffield Wednesday were looking for a foul. He simply fell over, and well, unfortunately, the ball from Manquillo wasn't good enough to clear the Sheffield Wednesday defender, and they survive again. But some really good chances for Newcastle early doors. Fouled by Jacob Murphy. Well, it was just a block, really. I mean, the Sheffield Wednesday player's gone down clutching his face. But what an opportunity that was for Javi Manquillo. I mean, he didn't give up. He went after it. The Sheffield Wednesday defender looked like he had that all day. But then he takes a stumble and fell. There was no foul there in a million years. Got round the goalkeeper, tried to whip it back for Isak, but he didn't have enough on it to clear the defender, which is a shame because he would have had an open goal, Isak. But good defending, to be fair. You know, he made sure that he didn't break too far away from Isak as well as the ball, and a good clearance. Botman underneath this one. Elliot Anderson battling to win it again in midfield. Matt Ritchie's never going to win that in 100 years. Now it's with Manquillo, settles it down to Lascelles. Lascelles, a little unsteady there, but manages to get it to Sven Botman. Botman goes to his left to Jamal Lewis. He's got Botman in support, but Lewis goes right-footed up to Jacob Murphy. Murphy does really well to control the ball and now heads down the left-hand side for Newcastle United, looking for runners. Good tackle. And a throw into Newcastle midway through the Sheffield Wednesday half. It's a shame, really, because Murphy, it's a big chance for him to do something here today against, of course, the team he was on loan with, and did really well when he was on loan with Sheffield Wednesday. Absolutely fantastic. So the Sheffield Wednesday fans probably hold him in high regard for what he did while he was there. Newcastle being pressed back a little bit here. Lascelles goes back to Martin Dubravka. Dubravka then out to Lewis on the left-hand side. Lewis has got Elliot Anderson in support here. Oh, Anderson is a terrible back pass, and Sheffield Wednesday miss an absolute sitter. What a chance. What an opportunity for Josh Windass, and he should have scored. But he put it wide. I mean, what on earth was Elliot Anderson thinking here? He was going back to Dubravka, nowhere near enough on it. And Windass, well, it's a poor miss, really. He panicked there and he clipped it with his left foot miles wide in the end. But wow, some dodgy mistakes going on back in the back for Newcastle. They just don't look cohesive with each other at all at the moment. Anyway, Matt Ritchie nods it down to Joe Linton. The run is on for Manquillo again down the right-hand side, and he gets there, but it's cleared out for a throw into Sheffield Wednesday. Good work that by James on the left-hand side and clears it. Manquillo's holding his face. I'm not sure why. It's just a challenge for the ball, to be honest. WW says support from Hong Kong. Hello to you. Lovely flick by Isak, but Anderson not quite onto it. But, you know, we've looked quite dangerous going forward, but defensively, we've been all over the place in this first 15 minutes. Absolutely all over the shop. There's just panic for some reason. I mean, Sven Botman must be thinking, Jesus Christ, what is going on here? Anyway, it's with Jamal Lewis, and he goes back to Sven Botman. Botman's got Lascelles in support, doesn't use him, goes up to Joe Linton. Good ball, that. Big Joe turns again, and gets a bit of space for himself. Lovely little layup to Matt Ritchie. Ritchie now back to Joe Linton. Good bit of football lad from Newcastle. Joe Linton looking for the ball. That's a great ball over the top for Jacob Murphy. What a ball that is by Big Joe. But Jacob Murphy is offside. He shouldn't be offside there. You know, that's poor from Jacob Murphy. He shouldn't be offside in that situation. Pretty poor, if you ask me, from Murphy. He's looking along the line. Really poor, that. 15 minutes gone at Hillsborough. No score so far. There's been some action at both ends, it has to be said. And really, the action at Newcastle defensive ends come through their own fault, really. Again, Ritchie really into the ball quickly. Good ball down the line, but Lascelles intercepts, plays it to Joe Linton. Joe Linton, lovely turn by the big Brazilian, and then he's fouled. Sheffield Wednesday claim he got the ball there, but I don't think he did. And takes Joe Linton down. Let's have a look at, well, I mean, to be honest, I don't think that was actually a foul. If I'm being blatantly honest, I think Joe turned him. They both went in for the ball. I think he won the ball, but never mind. I'm not bothered. We got a free kick. Here's Lewis on the left-hand side, just over the halfway line. Plays it all the way back to Sven Botman. Botman Got Windass on his back. Plays it across to Lascelles. Lascelles to Big Joe. Joe out to Manquillo on the right-hand side. Up the line to Matt Ritchie. Good bit of play that by Newcastle. And they win a throw-in just over the halfway line. I think a goal would really settle us down, I think, a little bit. Certainly Sheffield Wednesday would then have to come at us even more. And that would provide Newcastle with a little bit of gaps to go on the break again. But so far, we're doing all right. I think, a definitely winnable game, providing the defence stays a bit more solid than what we've seen so far. Here's Jamal Lewis again for Newcastle. Not strong enough, but Elliot Anderson comes back and wins the ball. He's now running backwards, gives it to Botman. Again, Botman then loses the ball. The ball's gone out for a Sheffield Wednesday throw in. That's poor from Elliot Anderson, giving Botman literally no chance with the ball. I mean, they've got to wake up a couple of players here. They're just, this is a big opportunity for them and a big opportunity to prove to Eddie Howe that they are capable of staying around this first team squad. But so far, there's a couple not standing up to it in the first 20 minutes of this game. Lewis and Murphy clearly not working, says Santosh. I agree. Nothing's happened down our left-hand side at all at the moment. Anyway, Manquillo is on the ball now, plays it across to Botman. Botman just steadies himself again, has a look for an outlet, but just rolls it into Jamal Lascelles. Lascelles to Joe Linton, who's seen plenty of the ball in this first half. Now Manquillo cuts back onto his right. And lays it up to Longstaff. Longstaff, good ball to Elliot Anderson. Now he can run with the ball for a little bit. Plays it out to the left to Jacob Murphy. He's got an overlap coming from Jamal Lewis. Good ball. Slips Lewis in. He's into the box. Big chance for Newcastle. Good defending again by Sheffield Wednesday. Joe Linton was the man running into the ball. And, you've got to put up with that, the Wednesday players. That's Premier League stuff for you. If you're not strong enough, but it was a good clearance, but he wanted a free kick. He was never going to get it. Here's Longstaff. Good move down the left. The first time we really broke down the left-hand side there, and they combined really, really well. Manquillo now slips it into Ritchie in the Sheffield Wednesday half again. Ritchie back to Manquillo. He'll go back to Lascelles. Lascelles starts again by just crossing it across to Botman. Botman now just taking his time, looking for that pass to create another attack for Newcastle. Anderson coming back here to get the ball a lot. It's good to see Anderson still willing to get the ball. He's had a few dodgy touches in the first 20 minutes, but he's still hungry to get on the ball, which is good to see. Joe Linton now brings it forward for Newcastle United. Looking for a through man. He's got Ritchie. Ritchie back to Joe Linton now. Joe Linton, he's got three men all over him. Manages to find Botman. Botman now brings it forward again. Plays it into Joe Linton. Joe Linton back to Longstaff now. Longstaff looking for that ball again, and it's a terrible one for Murphy. Lewis continues after it, and it's a throw into Sheffield Wednesday. Good defending that by Palmer, the right back, and it is out for a throw in. We're weak on the left side, but strong on the right. Yeah, we've started quite strongly on the right-hand side with Ritchie and Manquillo, to be honest. Defensively poor so far, says Rob. Absolutely. Guys, please do subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're on the way to, we're building up to head towards 17,000 now, which is fantastic. With your help, we can get there. So please, if you're new and you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. But don't forget to hit the thumbs up button as well. You can see how Sheffield target Lewis as well. Yeah, I think they are seeing Jamal Lewis as the weak spot. And so far, they haven't been proved wrong. He hasn't had a great game at all so far, apart from that last move getting forward. That's a free kick. That's bad from Murphy, man. Murphy's hurt his shin there. Is it just nowhere near the ball? I mean, he's done there, and he just sticks the leg out, and he's hurt himself by doing that. And Murphy is now limping. I think it's just a bang on the shin he's got, so he'll probably be able to run that off. Rachel says it's the team of 12 months ago defensively, apart from Botman, of course. Anyway, Botman gets his head to that one. Anderson, he's got two Sheffield Wednesday players and shrugs them off. One Wednesday player goes down holding his face. And here we go again. I don't want to see any of this. I mean, it's Vokes that's gone down. And to be honest, Elliot Anderson didn't even know he was there. He's holding his throat. I mean, that's Jesus Christ, man. I mean, really? He caught literally his fingertip in the face and he goes down like he's been shot. I don't want to see this, man. Billy Trey, good evening to you. Lewis clearly not fit. Not a fullback, sorry. Probably be better as a left-sided midfielder. Cannot defend. I actually agree with that. He's much better going forward as Jamal Lewis. We couldn't play our full-strength team 2 cup games in a row. It was never going to happen, says Julie. Absolutely, 100%. Not an easy game for Dubravka to come back into with that back line. He's got to have his wits about him, that's the certainty. But to be fair to Dubravka, on that back pass from Elliot Anderson, he did get out very, very quickly to put the forward off. Here's Joe Linton bursting through the midfield now. Big Joe, he's got Isak to the right. Here is Alexander Isak. Isak dribbles into the box. Oh, he's just took a heavy touch there, and it's cleared away for a throw-in. But by God, as soon as Isak gets the ball, he's wanting to attack. He's certainly hungry to attack as well, which is great to see. Middlesbrough for life, you're very funny. Very funny. You're only famous for Ant and Deck. Really? Where's Middlesbrough Football Club these days? What are you famous for? Chubby Brown? Dear God. I think Levi put that perfectly, to be honest. Half-time, Coventry 1, Wrexham 3. Wow. Billy's hometown not doing so well there. Anyway, 22 minutes and 25 seconds into the game. We are still goalless at Hillsborough. But Newcastle beginning to press a little bit more now. Begin to look hungry. And hopefully a goal is coming. We've got a throw in right on the halfway line here. Of course, there's no multi-ball system in the FA Cup, so Botman has to go all the way back as we get a sight of the Newcastle fans again in full voice, as they normally are away from home. And the throw in now from Manquillo. He's got Richie in support and Joe Linton. He gives it to Richie. Richie with 3 players on him. Manquillo did well there, all the way back to Sven Botman. Botman again will build from the back across to Jamal Lewis. Lewis looks forward, plays a ball into the feet of Elliot Anderson. Anderson's touch is really poor, and Sheffield Wednesday win the ball back, and it's now back with a goalkeeper. Anderson's got to improve. I mean, that there is very, very simple for me. A ball played right into his feet, and his touch is awful. Longstaff now for Newcastle, bursting over the halfway line. He's brought down, free kick. Wednesday not very happy with that, but he was shrugged off the ball. He's pulling his shirt and then just shoves him down. Of course, it's a free kick. Manquillo now cuts back inside. Nice bit of running from Manquillo here. Plays it in, and Isak's in acres of space, and the goalkeeper stays strong. It was a very, very similar position to where Isak scored against Liverpool. He just was in acres of space, found loads. What a marking from Sheffield Wednesday was bizarre there. Not even picking him up. He's miles onside, and he goes for power, low and power, and it's a good save off the shin of the goalkeeper. Twice he's denied now, Alexander Isak, by the goalkeeper. Newcastle have a corner, which Richie is going to take on his left foot. Plays it short to Big Joe. Joe manages to get it back to Richie. Richie on the half volley. Cross comes in. Headed away again from Sheffield Wednesday. Murphy, that's a little bit of a heavy touch, but it's managed to find Jamal Lewis. Lewis down the left now to Elliot Anderson. Can Elliot Anderson now have a run at them? He cuts back on his right. Anderson still on the ball. Plays it back to Sven Botman. Botman then goes out to Anderson again. He's got an overlap from Jamal Lewis. Plays it into Isak. Isak tries to take a little touch to Richie. Doesn't quite come off. And Sheffield Wednesday managed to clear, but Newcastle definitely opened the ante here. Manquillo, what is that from Lascelles? Good God! I mean, wow. Anyway, we get away with it. No, the ball's gone out. I mean, I don't know what Lascelles was doing there, quite honestly, but, we're kind of used to that with him. But Isak certainly knows. He's certainly up for it. He's had a few opportunities here. Denied by the goalkeeper. You could argue that he should have actually scored both. But you remember, this is his first game back after a long, long layoff. So, we'll forgive him a couple of misses. But my God, his runs are just, he makes these runs that are completely different to what we used to seeing from Chris Wood. I'll give him that. But hopefully a goal is just around the corner here for Newcastle, because they have began to stamp their authority on the game here. And most of it is coming through Big Joe, to be honest, as he goes back to Sven Botman now. Botman just clips it with his left foot up the line to Jacob Murphy now. Murphy, not strong enough again, easily pushed off the ball. He's had a horrific game so far, Jacob Murphy. Anyway, Longstaff brings it forward for Newcastle. Turns, He's dragged to the floor, but referee wears play on as it went back to Botman. Botman now into Matt Ritchie. Ritchie out to Manquillo. Manquillo, little flick on by Elliot Anderson, doesn't quite come off, and we win a throw in just inside the Sheffield Wednesday half. Down the line now, here's Elliot Anderson. Right at the corner flag and wins the corner for Newcastle. Good work that by Elliot Anderson. That's better. Was strong and made sure that he won the corner for Newcastle, which Matt Ritchie will take again. We're certainly pressing. We're knocking on the door here. We can't ask more than that at the minute. But unfortunately, we just haven't been able to put the ball in the net. Some good size again up there in the box. We've got Isak, Botman, Lascelles, Joe Linton. There's some big boys there. Sean Longstaff as well, towering over his marker. In comes the corner to the near post this time, and it's cleared away by Wednesday again. Murphy has to do some running back. Just tips it back to Manquillo, and Manquillo just gives it to Dubravka. Dubravka will take his time and then lay it off to Jamal Lewis to start up another attack for the Toon Army. But Lewis doesn't. He goes back to Sean Longstaff. Longstaff into Botman. Nice ball. Botman turns, but he's got two Sheffield Wednesday players over him, but we win it back. Jamal Lewis now to Joe Linton. Joe Linton all the way back to Martin Dubravka. And Dubravka goes left-footed up the field looking for Jacob Murphy on the left-hand side. It's now with Sheffield Wednesday. Good work by Joe Linton to win that back. Elliot Anderson now, strong, really good play. Joe Linton back to Lewis. Lewis, there's men in the midfield screaming for the ball as Elliot Anderson dumped to the floor and Newcastle win another free kick. And I think that was a soft one, to be honest, and Sheffield Wednesday a bit upset at that decision. It was very soft, I think, that one on, just tried to win the ball. I mean, that's, we got away with one there, I think. Timed this just right, could not listen to Keown anymore, says Andy. Well, knock the sound off, watch the game and listen to the commentary on here. Do subscribe if you're new, guys. Just click the subscribe button. That would be great. As we're bursting forward here. This is a wonderful run by Matt Ritchie. Plays it out wide now to the right-hand side. The ball comes in. Ritchie! And it loops just over the bar. It didn't sit right for him, but he started that move and very nearly finished it. Great move from Matt Ritchie. Bursting through the middle of the park there. That was old school Matt Ritchie, that. Played it out wide. The ball in wasn't the best. It just took a bobble before it got to Ritchie. Otherwise, he was tucking that in. Manquillo's ball here, and it just bounces as he's just swinging his foot at it, and it loops over the bar. But definitely looking the better side. The last 10, 15 minutes, we have been on top, guys. There's absolutely no doubt about that in my eyes. It's a goal I feel is coming, but you need to score when you're on top in these games, as we've found out to our cost in the past. Lascelles now. Again, his passing just isn't there. Here's Longstaff. Rolls it into Elliot Anderson now. Anderson back to Sean Longstaff. Good work, that. Longstaff then pings it out to the right. What a ball that is for Isak. And he takes it on his chest. Cuts inside. Just again, a slightly heavy touch by Alexander Isak. And it's all the way back with the keeper. You feel that, the more Isak gets more and more minutes, that touch comes back. He's such a threat. And he really has. He's looked a threat already, and he's not even 100% match fit. Wednesday now trying to have a bit of the football. 3 Newcastle players, but they get the ball and come down the right-hand side now. And again, another push this time. I wouldn't argue with him, Sunshine. Look at the size of Botman to him, man. Botman just smiles and gets on with the game. You can't intimidate him, Sunshine. Smith's trying to intimidate Botman. It's like Botman just smiles at him thinking, are you having a laugh, son? Look at the size of you, man. As we know, Botman is an absolute unit. But here is Ritchie playing a lot more central at the minute. Joe Linton whips a ball over the top for Manquillo, who is going to get there. Manquillo pulls it back. It's a terrible pullback again. And nowhere near where Isak is running onto. And again, it's just that final ball, man. It's not coming off at the minute. Joe Linton now for Newcastle, who's had a brilliant first half. He's been all over the place. Longstaff across to Elliot Anderson, into Jamal Lewis now. Inside the Sheffield Wednesday half again. Out to Lewis on the left. Sorry, Murphy. Murphy's got Lewis in support. He's not really doing anything, Murphy. He's gone backwards. to Sven Botman. Botman then clips a beautiful left-footed ball to change the play across the other side where Manquillo now runs forward into Isak. Oh, he just tried to lay it off, just didn't quite come off. Anderson snapping at the heels of the Wednesday players to get it back. Longstaff in, but the referee finally gives a free kick to Sheffield Wednesday, to be honest. And they will just slow the play down a little bit here. I genuinely feel that if this could be one of those games where if we score one, then the floodgates will open. But it's just that final ball. Isak's had a couple of opportunities, but the crossing, to be fair, hasn't been great. Long ball from Wednesday. Lascelles underneath that. Botman then sweeps it up. And it comes to Sean Longstaff into Jacob Murphy now in the centre circle. Plays it out wide again, this time to Matt Ritchie. Ritchie looking forward, sees Joe Linton ahead of him. Cuts back and goes back to Javi Manquillo. Manquillo now. He's got the two centre-backs in support. Here's Lascelles. He goes straight left across to Sven Botman. Botman will then go back across to Lascelles, who's then got Manquillo, rolls it in. That's a little bit in an iffy pass, shall we say, from Sean Longstaff. Botman now has it close to the left-hand touchline, plays it long, looking for Jacob Murphy. The defender lets it bounce, and the goalkeeper hacks it away, not convincingly, to be honest. And that's a chance for Murphy here. And again, such a lack of strength from Jacob Murphy. Guys, I mean, look, he's got a big chance here, Murphy, to really shine, and he's just throwing this down the plug hole again. Similar to the Tranmere game. Lascelles now into Matt Ritchie, who's had a good game. Joe Linton, beautiful turn from Joe to give him space, and then he went to pass the ball with the outside of his boot, and that's a little niggly foul by Joe Linton. Longstaff got in the way of his pass. He tried to play it outside the boot, out of the left-hand side, but... and then, well, is that really a foul? He didn't stick his leg out or anything, but the referee gives it. Now down the left-hand side and offside. That's poor from Wednesday because, you know, from a free kick like that, he shouldn't be going offside. But complete domination at the moment from Newcastle United. It has been the last 20 minutes, but we just haven't put the ball in the net. We really need to get this Wednesday keeper working a bit more, as Isak's done twice already in this first half. Manquillo to Big Joe. Joe Linton, lovely turn again. He's pulled down, free kick, Newcastle. I don't know what the Wednesday players are complaining about. I mean, you know, the grabbing the shirts, the pulling the Newcastle players to the floor. You know, it's not League One, guys. It's just ridiculous. There's a look in the stands. Chris Waddle commentating probably for BBC 5 Live. But this is where you'll get the best commentary, guys, right here on the Toon Review. Please do subscribe if you're new to the channel. It's free to do so, and hit that bell, which will let you know when we upload, go live, or schedule in a show. Here's Joe Linton. Please do hit that like button as well, guys, and you can donate to the channel if you wish by hitting that $ under the live comments. Manquillo for Newcastle rolls it back to Sean Longstaff. A little bit of a heavy touch that by Manquillo, but we start again with Botman. Joe Linton, who's been at the heart of everything. Not the greatest ball in for Isak there. He just tried to roll him in, but good defending. That was offside, but he wasn't. And Lascelles again. Gordon Bennett. I mean, the Sheffield Wednesday player had to make 10 yards up there on Lascelles and very, very nearly got there. Eventually, we clear it away. And Wednesday now have it. Just trying to look for somewhere forward Wednesday, but, you know, we play that quite intense pressing game and we're forcing Wednesday into so many mistakes. Joe Linton again for Newcastle United. He looks for help from Murphy, doesn't get it, and Wednesday win it back. And Joe Linton again screaming at Jacob Murphy. He's really frustrated with him, and rightly so. Murphy's been absolutely garbage in this first half, and I think that's actually been nice to him. He's been absolutely woeful. Anyways, pressing here to try and win the ball, as is Elliot Anderson. Joe Linton now comes across to win it. Played forward by Wednesday, and Botman is underneath that one, but touch was a little bit iffy there, and Wednesday come forward. That's a great ball played through, and they're in the box here, Wednesday. There's not really much support up for him, and Jamal Lewis does well. Wednesday get a throw in right near the corner flag. Levi says, bad after this. Fucking hell, have these been training the last first team? Or do they train on separate days? Look, I don't think it's been a truly awful performance. We are on top of this game, and we have been for most of the first half. We just, it gets to the front and we just seem to stop. Anyway, cross comes in from Wednesday. It's a great ball, and I think Botman actually got a flick to that to send it wide, and it's going to be a corner to Sheffield Wednesday. And again, those balls come into the box and it scares the living crap out of you. It really does. It was a brilliant ball in, and Botman just got a touch on it to send it away from the Wednesday forward there. I think it was Windass that was coming in, and Botman just manages to get a foot to just put that ball a little bit further away from Josh Windass. Anyway, thrown into the box again from Wednesday. Headed in. Lascelles clears it away. And then eventually Elliot Anderson puts his boot under it. And Isak is now under this one. Isak trying to turn. But Wednesday winning it back. Good tackle that. Brilliant work from Sean Longstaff there to clear out. That was great work from Longstaff. And now Jacob Murphy's one-on-one. He's one-on-one, but he's got no clue where he's running and lost the ball. Get him off, man! He is utter garbage, man. Supposed to be a Premier League player. Run on goal. He just stops running. It's a brilliant ball by Longstaff. He's one-on-one, and he can't do absolutely anything with it. He stutters, he stammers, and loses. It's absolutely shocking from Murphy. Joe Linton has it now for Newcastle United. Botman, back to Joe Linton, who's got a little bit of space here. Rolls it into Longstaff. Longstaff back to Joe. Joe's got Lewis in support just to the left of him. Jamal Lewis now plays the ball into Isak. Isak looking to turn. He's got two Sheffield Wednesday players coming towards him and manages to get rid of them. That's a foul. Isak did well there because he initially lost the ball and then won it back and then forced the foul. So good bit of play that from Alexander Isak. But absolutely woeful play from Jacob Murphy. I'm fuming, actually. That was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Anyway, we've got a free kick in a reasonable position here for Newcastle United. It's going to be swung in again by Richie. He's put a couple of good free kicks in the first half. He'd be looking to do that again. Has a look up, and he's going to hopefully pick a man out here. And in it comes. It's a good one, and again, good defending by Wednesday. But a brilliant free kick again, right on that 6-yard area. That's a foul. And he's giving it to Newcastle. And I think he's getting his yellow card out here. Is he? Or is he just putting... No, he's just marking. Let's have another look. Elliot Anderson's underneath him. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where that... I don't think it's a free kick either way, to be honest, because Elliot Anderson doesn't jump. The Sheffield Wednesday player jumps over Anderson, yet he gives the free kick to us. Listen, I'm not complaining. This is a brilliant opportunity. Isak's going to hit this by the looks of things. Get Murphy well away from it, please. And Murphy moves away. This is going to be Isak. Richie's over it as well. But this is a big chance for Alexander Isak. Joel saying he's given it for a handball. Interesting. I think that was very harsh, but I'm not complaining at all, to be honest. Now, what can the big Swede do? Up he comes. He tried to sort of side-foot it into the bottom. That was never going to make it. He didn't have enough power on it, even if it did get round the wall, to be honest. Lewis, good hard ball out to Murphy. Murphy, again, poor ball, but Isak manages to try and scramble and win it. But again, awful from Jacob Murphy. I mean, truly awful. It was just a terrible... surely Eddie Howe is watching this and thinking, my God, he's fallen apart here, Jacob Murphy. Terrible. And I'm sorry, I'd like to see Jacob Murphy do well and score some goals, but my God. And, well, Sheffield Wednesday are losing the plot here. Another foul. I mean, the referee, he hasn't brought his cards out. No consistent fouling yet. Just incredible. Annie says he hasn't been impressed with Botman. Annie, give your head a shake, sunshine. Well, yeah, he's playing alongside Lascelles, for Christ's sake. And Lewis, I mean, Jesus. Give him a break, for Christ's sake. I don't think Botman's actually been that bad, to be honest. I think Botman's done all right. But really, it's just... Anyway, swung in by Richie again. Headed away by Sheffield Wednesday. Good work by Anderson to win it back. Play it back in towards Isak. Isak doesn't jump. Sorry, it's Lascelles. And then Lascelles gets in the way again of Isak. Oh. Do you know what? It's funny, really, because when I'm commentating on this game, I'm thinking back to the old days and thinking how frustrating it is seeing some of these players who we know are just not good enough. And again, it's been proved here this afternoon so far. Good work by Longstaff again, but the touch was it was a heavy pass to deal with. Lascelles on the ball now. Plays it up to Matt Ritchie. Ritchie cuts inside. He's got a run from Joe Linton and finds him. Good ball. Now Joe Linton brings it over the halfway line in full flow. Plays it down the line to Jamal Lewis. Lewis turns, falls over, loses the ball, but Joe Linton wins it back. Now Jacob Murphy on the ball. Murphy plays it into Joe Linton. Joe Linton now has a bit of space, looking for that killer ball. Tried to get it to Anderson, I believe, but it's cleared away. And now it's all the way back. Dubravka comes out, lays it up to Botman. Still goalless here as we approach half-time at Hillsborough. Long ball. What a ball by Botman. And it's headed away. Will he keep it in? That's a good header, actually. Back to the goalkeeper. Good work, that. And he says, to be fair, when I've seen him play in the league, he's very solid. Yes, because he's playing with players alongside who are quality players in Dan Burn and, of course, Fabian Schär. When you're playing with Lascelles and Lewis, it's a different kettle of fish. Long ball again. Played down. Lewis running after it. And cross comes in. Dubravka's out really quickly to get the ball. Good goalkeeping that from Martin Dubravka. Now Jamal Lewis trying to create another attack for Newcastle, but there's nothing in front of him, so goes back to Botman. Botman steadies himself, just rolls it back to Dubravka, who in turn rolls it out to Lascelles to bring forward. He rolls it up the line now to Manquillo. Manquillo cuts inside, lays it to Botman. Newcastle patient building here. Ritchie, beautiful ball. Wonderful ball for Jacob Murphy. He's, oh my God. Oh my actual God. He's won it back and then he can't play it back. It's now Manquillo. Murphy again. Ritchie screaming for it. Murphy doesn't use him and can't get the cross in. Longstaff fuming, he didn't get the ball. It's with Matt Ritchie now. Honest to God, Murphy, what on earth were you doing? Joe Linton's ball in, and it's just Elliot Anderson can't get his head on it, and it's a goal kick to Wednesday. But what is Murphy doing? He's through. He's through on goal. It's a great run. All he has to do is slot it, just knock it past the keeper and then knock it in. What is he doing? I mean, that's awful. If he's trying to finish that by looping it over the goalkeeper, that is genuinely awful, guys. Oh, dear. Really poor again from Murphy. Really, really poor. Goal kick for Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, he's had opportunities now. It's just annoying. It really is. There's a Newcastle player down. I believe it's Longstaff holding his head, but he's up. He gets on with it. And Jacob Murphy on the ball again. Loses it again. Get him off the pitch, please. He's lost the ball in a really dangerous position here. Wednesday coming forward now. Windass goes down. No foul, says the referee. And Lewis will play it long looking for Isak. It's Miles. Oh, Isak's done them. He's away on goal. Isak, has he got the strength? No, he hasn't. And bloody hell's fire. Wow, God almighty. I mean, listen, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and put that down to the fact that he hasn't played. Oh, my God. Honestly, the pair of them. Isak's had some great chances in this game. Joe Linton, brilliant burst forward. He's got Manquillo on the right-hand side now. Manquillo took a really heavy touch, and it's lost. Ritchie taking out the play off the ball. He claims he was fouled. The referee says no. Here come Wednesday. Great defending by Manquillo, and he's caught very late there. And that's a petulant yellow card. He's saying why. Manquillo won the ball back there, and it was actually Longstaff who won the ball back there, and he left his foot in after the ball had been cleared by Longstaff, and that was a bit of a painful one. But again, guys, we should be ahead. Great tackle by Longstaff to win the ball back. Now watch this. He turns, Longstaff, plenty time. He rolls the ball away, and look at that, right down the left. That's awful tackle, to be honest. That's terrible. Rolled his studs down the shin of the left shin of Sean Longstaff. Wow. Steve says, I think I'm being harsh. Murphy's been shite as the halftime whistle goes. But that was it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Steve. I can't agree with you on that. A difficult one to lob on the stretch. Just roll. Just get control of the ball, run past the keeper and slide it in the net. It's a simple thing to do for a professional footballer, mate. I'm not having that. He's been garbage. Anyway, the halftime whistle has gone at Hillsborough. And it is Newcastle United 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0 in the first half. And, you know, to be fair, we've dominated the match, if I'm openly honest. We've absolutely dominated the game. In theory, we should be at least 2 or 3 goals in front. We're not. It's still 0-0. And you have to ask yourself, you know, we've had the opportunities. Isak's header, either side of the goalkeeper, you know, a goal. Then Isak's low shot, rebounded off the keeper's shin. You have to praise the goalkeeper in situations like that. But again, either side of him, and it was 1-0. And then, of course, Jacob Murphy. I mean, look, it's not just his finishing that I'm complaining about in that first half. His passing was dreadful. I mean, dreadful, guys. It wasn't even decent passing. He couldn't hold the ball up. It was bouncing off his feet. Little short passes he couldn't even give to find a white shirt. Nothing. Utterly terrible. Let's get to some of your comments then. James says, for me, it's clear Eddie Anderson needs to go out on loan. He needs more playing time. Isak is rusty, but he will get better. Absolutely. I have no problem with Isak. Newcastle team is rusty. Well, we shouldn't really be rusty. I mean, these guys are training with the first team every day. I think Matt Ritchie's done very well. Mankio's had a decent game as well. So, you know, it's not all of them. Dave says, Lewis doing okay after a dodgy start. Murphy getting worse as the half went on. Sheffield Wednesday, good organised team. Yeah, but they are a good organised team, but the league won, and we are shown that the league won. We dominated that first half. But quite frankly, some of the quality is badly missing. Billy, if you're watching, if you want to pop on and have your thoughts on that first half, mate, you can just pop yourself on and we'll get your thoughts. Nice to see flashes of the old Richie. It certainly was, Rich. Robert says the fact we have dominated and not scored makes us look worse. Well, no, it makes the players that are out there look like they're not good enough, i.e. Jacob Murphy. He's been absolute ham shank in that first half. Murphy's decision-making not good enough. Lewis looks off the pace. I can understand him being off the pace, to be honest, but Richie has looked great. Yes, he has. Isak definitely not 100%. Of course, we knew that anyway. Nacho says, I haven't seen Murphy play before, but judging on the way the comment referred to him, he's lost confidence. It's not a confidence thing. He's just not good enough. Christmas 365 says, from what I can see, Wednesday have a half-decent stadium, and that says a lot coming from me. Colton says, just containing the laughter. It's when not Man City. I don't know what you mean by that, but never mind. Murphy as much use as tits on a bull, says James. Steve says, I wonder if some of the players have been told there is a make or break game for them and they're feeling the pressure. Look, that's the thing, though. If they have been told that it's make or break and they're not performing when they're under pressure, then would you say they're good enough? Because I certainly wouldn't. If that's the case and they're feeling under pressure, then they're not good enough for me. They've got to be able to play under pressure. Stiff says Isak will need 5 to 6 games. He's not even fully fit, let alone match fit, which takes a good few games to get back. We will need to be patient with him, absolutely. But he could and maybe should have had at least one goal in that first half, but it wasn't to be. Ian says the quality after our starting 11 is League One at best. Isak first game back. Jamal Lewis looks nervous. Jamal Lewis grew into the game. I think he had a very, very dodgy start, first 15, 20 minutes. But he did sort of grow into the game as it went on. But Jacob Murphy, he should be better than that. He should be a lot better than that, to be honest. Guys, please do subscribe if you're new to the channel and you like what you see. Come and be part of this amazing community that we have here on the Toon Review. Don't forget to hit the like button and, of course, the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or upload. And, of course, you can donate to the Toon Review if you hit that $sign underneath the live comments. And, of course, you can as well become a member if you hit that join button just underneath the video. We have Mr. Billy Trey joining us now at halftime for his thoughts. Billy, good evening.
Hello, how's things?
How are you doing?
Frustrated, to be honest. Yeah, pretty poor first half, wasn't it?
I mean, look, I don't mean to point him out, Billy, but Jacob Murphy, I mean, people are going on saying, give him a chance and things like that. But how many chances does this guy want? I mean, this happened against Tranmere. He was awful in the cup against Tranmere, but, he gets an opportunity from the start against the League One side, and his touch is terrible. His passing has been really frustrating, and don't get me started on his finishing.
I think I've counted one pass that he gave to one of our players. The rest is give the ball away on every occasion. Weak as Shandy. Finishing's awful. Finishing's awful. Probably the worst performance I've seen him put in a Newcastle shirt, and that's amongst some pretty stiff competition also. We need to get rid of him. He's just not good enough. Not good enough.
I mean, this is where you would see players and ask yourself who is good enough to be in this squad going forward. And, he's clearly not that player. I mean, I'm just seeing the header from Isak here on the 6-yard line. Great save by the keeper, Billy. But I see you said in the chat he probably should have scored there.
He should definitely have scored. He's got the whole goal to aim for. Time to get to it. He's got power behind it. He's headed it down, but he's put it straight to the keeper's just left of him. He should have scored.
Is it just that his timing slightly off, Billy, with him being out for so long? It's obviously he's no sub appearances. He's thrown straight back in.
No, I don't think so. I think that's an instinctive header. When he was clean through 1-on-1, when he was caught, maybe that was, but certainly not there.
Yeah. Well, I'm just seeing that one now. Very, very similar, Billy, to the goal he scored at Liverpool, of course. And it was Longstaff that slotted him in again. And the goalkeeper stayed big. And if it hits the goalkeeper, obviously it goes out for a corner. And I think that's more luck on the goalkeeper's part. He didn't really move. But then we have two breakaways from Murphy. The first one, I mean, he's going 1-on-1 against the defender and just slows up. He just stops running. I mean, what the hell is he doing?
He's clearly got no confidence in his own pace. He's got no confidence in his own ability to beat the defender. We haven't seen him take him on once. We've seen Jamal Lewis take the player on more, the fullback on more than what the actual left midfield player has. He's just been a passenger the first half. So been a complete kind of burden on our team. We're playing with 10 men.
I mean, we were really sloppy the first 20 minutes, Billy. I mean, we're just seeing that throw in from Jamal Lewis that he threw to Jacob Murphy, and Murphy let it bounce past him, and, they were in. I mean, Murphy looked really rocky first 15, 20 minutes. Terrible back passes as well from Elliot Anderson, which could have been a goal for Sheffield Wednesday. And Annie in the comments there was saying that he wasn't that impressed with Botman, and I'm thinking, well, hang on. Botman's going against... he's got Cher and Byrne alongside him for league games, and then he's got Lascelles, who I think has been quite woeful with his passing and things like that in the first half, and a very rocky Lewis on the other side. That can't be easy.
No, definitely not defensively. Having said that, I think Lewis, Anderson, and to a certain extent Lascelles have improved as the half's gone on. But I mean, Longstaff and Joe Linton have been outstanding. Isak looks rusty.
What do you think of Matt Ritchie, Billy? Because I think he's looked really good, Matt Ritchie, in the first half. Him and Manquillo combining well down the right-hand side. Yeah,
I think the two of them have been very good down that right-hand side. It's just a pity that it's been Ritchie feeding Manquillo for the crosses, because I think if Ritchie had played one of them crosses in, I think we'd be ahead now.
Yeah, of course, there was that one where, Manquillo gets around the goalkeeper. He was stretching a little bit to put the cross in, but just a little more height on it to clear the defender, and Isak's got a simple nod. What I do like, you mentioned Elliot Anderson improving through the half, Billy, and what I do like about that is, that rocky first 10 minutes he had with the back pass and things like that, it didn't really destroy his confidence. He was coming back and he was looking to get on the ball again, which was great to see.
Always wants the ball, no matter. He made the one terrible error early doors, like you said, but after that, he still wanted the ball all the time. Him and Longstaff have been quite good in the middle of that park, especially with Joe Linton, who's been absolutely superb.
Yeah, he has. He's all over the pitch, Joe Linton, isn't he? He's winning the ball. He's taking players on, and most of the time he's got 3 Sheffield Wednesday players around him as well, which can't be easy. But he's dealing with it brilliantly. We'll have a look at some of the comments while you're on here. Graham says Richie did okay. Need to provide a bit better quality around the box for Isak. Sean says only chance they have had, we gave it to them. 1-0 is enough. Yeah, 1-0 is enough to get through. You just look for that goal. I really do think one goal and then the floodgates may open. James says, for me, Lewis, Murphy and Longstaff are not up to play for Newcastle United. Anderson needs more experience, and it's clear it's not going to do so anywhere on the bench. With us, he needs to go and play somewhere. I don't agree. Well, why is Longstaff getting singled out here? I think Longstaff's been excellent.
He's been superb today. I think he's been really good. You know, he's his usual winning job, but his passing's been outstanding also. His short passing's also good, crisp, between defenders. Longstaff's been one of the better players on our side. I disagree with Lewis also. I think Lewis can be beneficial to us, but probably not as a defender. I think push him up the pitch.
You mentioned on the left-hand side moving forward, didn't you, rather than a defender?
Because I don't think he's got the concentration to be a defender. We saw that silly throwing in the first half. Although he did throw it to Murphy, which is probably more than I wouldn't be throwing the ball to Murphy if I'd have thrown it, put it that way.
I'm just seeing that Wout Weghorst is in advanced transfer talks with Manchester United. Wow.
Oh, God.
My God. Wow.
Couldn't they gone for Chris Wood?
Well, I mean, yeah. Nathan says Longstaff has been class. Isak is looking good as it's his first game back, says Cav. I agree with that. I thought Isak's played really well, to be honest. But
I think the problem that Isak's having is he's way ahead of the people that are playing with him. So his little flicks to space aren't being read by the lesser quality of player around him.
Absolutely, yeah. We're seeing highlights of Wout Weghorst on my stream. Dear God, I mean that's come out of nowhere, absolutely nowhere. But the fact he's in advanced talks,
that'll please the Man United fans, won't it? That'll be really ecstatic.
Oh God, I mean he's not exactly the standout, massive marquee signing that I think Manchester United fans will be hoping for. But we don't feel sorry for them, Billy. Longstaff saved our Arsenal a couple of times. He did. He got back and helped the defence. HM says Murphy or Wood for starting lineup for the rest of the season. You have to take one. Who have you got, Paul? Oh, dear God.
Depends where they've got to play them, isn't it? I mean, you ain't going to play Wood on the wing, are you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a difficult question because, Murphy's out wide, Wood's up front. So I'm going to sit on the fence and say none of them. I'd rather wipe my arse with a razor blade. Paul Tully says Longstaff has been good, but you can see the ring rust in most. Ian says, on most of your streaming, Paul, I slate Longstaff, but I can see why Eddie Howe put him in. There's no one to replace him with. Shelvey, maybe, but Shelvey's injured, so it wouldn't matter. The dead Wood is showing in that team, definitely. Dreading Wood imminent arrival, 0 goal threat. I mean, God. Look, it is what it is. I mean, I'd take a sneaky 1-0 win now, Billy. Just get the tie out the way, get through, and move on.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chris Wood is going to come on at some stage. We know that. Isak's not going to last 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So we're going to see him at some stage. When we do see him, God, just a forward line of Richie, him and Murphy.
I mean, it's just, it's not great, is it? Keith says Shearer just said that Isak may not be out for the second half. I think he will. I think he'll play about 10, 15 minutes. But look, I don't know, Billy. I just don't know. I mean, you have to ask yourself, if Chris Wood comes on, where is the goal threat coming from?
We're going to have to bring on some of our subs, aren't we? We're going to have to bring the likes of Bruno, Joe Willem, them kind of players on, Miggy, and just hope they can get us a goal because, I don't know. I'll be tempted to take Murphy off, put Fraser on that, put Richie on that side and bring Miggy on the other side, or put Miggy on the left-hand side and see if that works with Wood.
That's definitely an option.
Yeah, definitely. We've got to do something because...
But he's also going to have to... he's also got to remember that we've got a massive game on Tuesday, haven't we? So...
Yeah, we have, yeah. So some of the important players we'll want them fully fresh for that. But at the minute, we need to get through this tie, so we need to do what we can now.
Billy, a lot of people are asking what on earth is going on with Coventry City today?
No, that's going to be fun at work on Monday.
Yeah.
I think I might have to get that Welsh accent out, won't I?
Oh, Chris Wood strip, Billy.
Oh, great.
Chris Wood is coming on, guys. I hope it's for Murphy.
It won't be, though, will it?
Oh, God.
I mean, just to reiterate, Jacob Murphy there, not just, I don't think it's his worst performance in a Newcastle shirt. It may be the worst by anybody that I've ever seen in a Newcastle shirt. It was that bad first half. It was absolutely appalling.
Well, listen, we'll certainly cheer Chris Wood on while he's on the pitch for us in the second half. He's playing for Newcastle, and we have to give him our support. We can say what we like, obviously, after the game. When, tomorrow we'll be on for the review tomorrow of the game, and so we'll talk about it then. But Billy, thank you very much. Pop on at the end, won't you, just to give us your final thoughts on the match?
Okay.
All right, man. See you soon.
Okay, let's get this win then. See you later.
Absolutely. So there was Billy, and he'll be back with us at the end of the match. And Chris Wood is coming on for Alexander Isak, who's, he's got 45 minutes under his belt, everybody, and that's the main thing. On the road back to fitness, of course. And Dennis Adrien is coming on for Sheffield Wednesday. So a couple of substitutions. So Chris Wood is now on for Isak. So that was probably the plan all along from Eddie, is to obviously bring on, get 45 minutes under Isak. He probably would have been hoping that he could have grabbed a couple of goals, and we could have been a couple of goals up by the start of the second half, which we were very nearly, to be fair. But here we go. Second half, Newcastle will get us underway. And we're off. So here we go. Second half, 0-0 here at Hillsborough so far. Hopefully, Newcastle United can just up a gear again. We dominated the first half. We dominated possession, but the final third sadly let us down. Mary says, how has the first 45 been? All right. Vortex says, just watched it back at the end of last bursting run. Isak pulled up and grabbed his hammy. Let's not go there. Let's not put rumours in. Let's just see. Because if he's out again long term, we're in trouble. And we do have to make transfers. That there's no doubt about that. Newcastle have a player down here. Matt Ritchie's holding his right ankle. I think he was caught late there, but the referee, to be fair, the referee did see it. He did wave play on. And Ritchie's screaming, what the F at the referee. I'm not sure this looks too good for Matt Ritchie. He was caught off the ball, actually. I'm not sure whether it was on purpose. I'll have to see that again, to be honest. He runs to support the man. Sheffield Wednesday players just running in sort of behind him. Ritchie slowed down and he got caught. Isak is not injured, guys. Yep, exactly. Let's just, it was probably Eddie's, like I said, just at the start of the second half there, it was probably always Eddie Howe's plan to just, blend him in slowly, give him 45 minutes. And like I say, he'd have hoped that Newcastle would have been ahead by the time he had to come off at halftime. And to be fair, like I say, we should be a couple of goals up here. We should be. But that was a really painful one for Matt Ritchie, clearly, and he's still down. Mickey, how do you know that? He hasn't definitely pulled his hamstring at all. I don't know where you're getting that information from, but you're wrong, mate. Let's just wait and see what people say. You know what? He's been out for months and months, and he's played 45 minutes. Normally you would bring a player in slowly. You'd bring him on, a substitute, give him 10, 15 minutes. Matt Ritchie hasn't got a boot on, and look at it ripping his sock. This doesn't look good for Matt Ritchie. I mean, he's up. He's on 1 foot now, but he hasn't put his boot on, and he's been helped off the field. He ain't coming back on. He can't put any weight on that right foot. That's looking dicey, and I think we're going to have to make another change here. He's gone off the field. The physio's looking at Eddie Howe. He looks like he's going to put his boot back on. I don't know. We'll see. Vortex, that's fine, matey. Just watching it back, that's fine. I wasn't talking to you about that anyway, because there was somebody else put that he's definitely pulled a hamstring. I mean, how they would know that, I do not know, to be honest. They're waving a sub back, so I'm not sure when Matt Ritchie will be returning, but he's limping quite badly, but he looks like he's coming back on. Anyway, Joe Linton has the ball as we get back underway, and he's going the wrong way, but plays it back to Jamal Lascelles. Lascelles, in turn, over to Sven Botman. Botman now will go back to Jamal Lascelles. Lascelles out to Javi Manquillo. Back to Lascelles. Left-footed ball up to Joe Linton. Nice play by Joe Linton. Turning. Plays it in. Nice little layoff by Chris Wood to Longstaff. Longstaff across now to Jamal Lewis. Lewis breaking over the halfway line for Newcastle United. Plays it in for Elliot Anderson, and it was a poor ball, and Anderson makes the foul. Apparently, Eddie was saying Isak was only planned for 45 minutes, so there you go. I'm not he hasn't pulled up, don't worry. Let's not even worry about things like that. Good interception by Manquillo. Joe Linton now lets it roll on to Chris Wood. Wood out to Matt Ritchie. Ritchie inside now to Sean Longstaff. Longstaff, he's got men in support. One of them is Elliot Anderson, but he's knocked off the ball. Good start this to the second half by Newcastle. Again, putting pressure immediately on Wednesday. Lascelles, awful ball into Longstaff. I don't know what the hell he was doing there. And he's gone diving in to win it back. And in fairness, he has. And Newcastle break. They've got a man on the left, Jacob Murphy, and acres of space. Murphy now into the box. He's got an overlap from Elliot Anderson. He finds Anderson. Anderson to Wood. And a good block. In fairness, finally, Chris Wood managed to get a shot in, but it was blocked. The defender right in front of him. I thought Elliot Anderson maybe should have shot there. Just fire a shot into the bottom corner. But it was a good move. Murphy just waiting for the overlap. And to be fair, it was on Elliot's left foot. He's not as strong on the left foot. Plays it back to Wood. It's a good block, to be honest. Nothing against Chris Wood there. Please, no spoilers in the chat. Do not put what's happening in the game until I've commentated on it, please. Murphy's corner for Newcastle. It's high and looping. It's cleared away as far as Matt Ritchie now. Ritchie just gently rolls it back now to Jamal Lewis, and Jamal Lewis has turned, but he's managed to keep it going. Well played. Matt Ritchie now on the left-hand side for Newcastle. Plays it all the way back to Sven Botman joining the attack. Ritchie now back to Sven Botman. Botman about 35 yards out. He's going to smack one just wide. What a good hit that was by Sven Botman. And again, a very strong start to the second half, guys. Really good stuff. Good interplay by Ritchie and Botman. And then Botman lets fly with a rocket left foot. And it's not far away. Certainly, I think if that was nestled in the corner, I'm not sure the keeper would have got there. But never mind, it's just gone past the post. But that's very, very, very strong start to the second half from the Toon Army. And hopefully we can build on that. Everybody's really urging Botman to score, of course. We really want to see him smack the net. Lascelles, again, he's very unorthodox with his clearances sometimes, Jamal Lascelles. Wednesday winner threw in off the deflection off Joe Linton there, midway through the Sheffield Wednesday half. Botman clapping the lads, giving them a bit of confidence. The throw is thrown a long way back. Again, Newcastle pressing, but a brilliant turn, getting rid of Longstaff and Anderson there. Opportunities here. There's a man on the right-hand side. They're into the box. It's good play from Wednesday. Botman comes across, but Sheffield Wednesday have scored, and it's Josh Windass. Out of the blue, against a run of play. The League One side have taken the lead, and it's awful defending from Newcastle United. I'm sorry, but terrible again. And that sort of thing, you'll get punished. You really will get punished. And Sheffield Wednesday have taken the lead. Oh, my God. I mean, it's dreadful defending. There's nothing I can say. That great turn there in midfield to get rid of Longstaff and Anderson. It's then played out to the right. He's just onside. And then... well, is he offside? He looks offside. If I'm honest, he looks offside. We'll get a better clear image of this when the ball comes. He's offside. Oh, it's tight. It's tight. I'm not sure whether there's VAR here, by the way, guys. I'm not sure. But Windass just got a little toe poke on it to knock the ball past Dubravka. And Newcastle United are 1 goal down. My good God. Of course, the Wednesday fans are going absolutely berserk now. And we now have to get back into this game. We are 1-0 down. And there's only VAR, of course, in EPL grounds. Yeah, forget I said that. Oh, man, we are up against it now, without a shadow of a doubt. Poor from Newcastle, that really poor. Longstaff brings it over the halfway line. Down now to Matt Ritchie. Elliot Anderson. Murphy. Ritchie lose the ball, but it continues on to Elliot Anderson. And Anderson's going to win a corner for Newcastle United. Good response from the Toon. But, of course, have we got the players on the pitch now that are going to get us back in the game? I'm not so sure. Jacob Murphy takes a quick corner to Ritchie. Ritchie gets it on the left foot, whips in the corner. It's Botman, it's loose! Oh, God almighty, how did Anderson miss that? Great save, actually, by the goalkeeper as well, but he's... Oh, my God. Good turn by Murphy. He then tries to stroke a right foot shot. It's straight at the goalkeeper. And this keeper is earning his wage today. There's no doubt about that. Incredible stuff. I mean, it was literally a tap in for Anderson. The corner comes in. Botman hits him his left foot. It's deflected. What a great save, by the way. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the goalkeeper there. He if that was my goalkeeper making a save like that, I'd be proud. It was one of them De Gea saves as he goes in with his foot and saves it with his leg. But really, from 3 yards out, should you really be putting it that close to the goalkeeper to give him a chance? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Anyway, good response since going a goal down. The ball is with Jamal Lewis on the left-hand side. We have got to come out and attack Wednesday now. Murphy cuts onto his right, lays it up to Chris Wood. Wood all the way back to Lascelles. It was a terrible pass. Lascelles swings it out. And a good tackle on Manquillo. Manquillo goes down, grabbing his leg. Get up. We haven't got time to fart about. Oh, dear me. Dear me. I'm not used to us conceding goals, to be honest, but that was horrific. Absolutely horrific. Over 800 watching, guys. Thank you very, very much. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new by hitting that subscribe button. It is free to do so, and also the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live, upload or schedule a live show. It's with Lascelles now. Plays it out to Botman. Botman brings it forward. We have to now... I mean, he's got options on the bench. We know that. Now down the line for Jacob Murphy. Murphy cuts back onto his right foot, loses the ball. I don't know how many times I've said that during this match that Murphy's lost the ball, but hey-ho, that's the way it is at the minute. Wednesday now have it back in defence. They just thumped the ball forward. Flicked on, but Lascelles has got to hurry up here. He does well and manages to keep possession of the ball. Plays it up the line now for Botman. Botman, left-footed chip over the top for Chris Wood. It's a beautiful ball. Sorry for Matt Ritchie, but he's never going to have the pace to get to that. And the Wednesday keeper gathers it up. Oh, well, we do have Trippier. We've got Miggy. We've got Bruno on the bench. We know we've got the big hitters, but I don't think Eddie Howe will have wanted to give them a lot of minutes today because of obviously the game on Tuesday night. But anyway, we go again. And it's with Chris Wood. Lays it up. It's terrible touch from Chris Wood. And Sheffield Wednesday break again. My God, that was awful. Shot comes in. It's deflected and a brilliant save by Dubravka to his right. That could have been 2-0. Awful, awful play again from Newcastle. Chris Wood, just awful. But we break now down the right-hand side. Options available. Manquillo going at it at 100 mile an hour. He's got Joe Linton in support. He's looking for somebody to make a run. And it goes out for a throw-in. Chris Wood, make yourself available, man. Manquillo is going to take the throw in to Matt Ritchie now. Ritchie, head up. Plays it crossfield to Jacob Murphy. Murphy controls with his thigh. He's going to have a go here, Murphy. It's a great effort and a wonderful save. Yet again from the goalkeeper. That's much better from Jacob Murphy. A fantastic hit and a wonderful save again. It was swerving and he was going the wrong way and he's done really well to get to that. And this keeper is really earning himself a wage tonight. There's no doubt about it. Murphy's corner for Newcastle. We're definitely knocking on the door here. In it comes. It's an in-swinger to the back post and Botman just glances off his head and way wide of the post. And it remains 1-0. To Sheffield Wednesday, and they're not gonna rush these goal kicks or anything. But at the other end, Martin Dubravka It was a deflected shot from Windass and flying off to his right, and he got good hands on it as well to make sure that there was no rebound on that. Slight deflection, but good concentration from Martin Dubravka and a very, very good save. Newcastle are now going for it. They are bringing on Willock, Miggy, and Bruno. All three of them are coming on. That gives me a little bit of hope that, there's a long way to go yet in this game. Over half an hour. And these guys can make a massive, massive difference. We know that. Sean Longstaff is one of them to come off. I'm pleased to see Longstaff given a rest. He deserves that. He's worked his ass off. And Bruno comes on for him. Beg your pardon. Jacob Murphy, thank God, is coming off the pitch. He's done one good thing in this game, which was the shot. So on comes Miggy as he sprints onto the pitch, and Elliot Anderson coming off for Joe Willock. Good substitutions, I think, that from Eddie. Longstaff definitely needs a bit of a rest. He's played a lot of games lately, Sean Longstaff. Now with Willock, Miggy, and Bruno on, that gives us options now without a shadow of a doubt. So let's see what they can do in the last half an hour of this game. As Newcastle really do have their backs against the wall at the moment. 1-0 down. Not on the pitch, the backs against the wall, though. We are really, apart from that goal, we're on top again in the second half, but we haven't been able to do anything. Jamal Lewis trying to clip it out to the left there. Throw in. Wednesday player throws the ball away. How is he not booked for that? Get a grip of the game, referee. Anyway, Botman has it now for Newcastle. Goes all the way across to Jamal Lascelles. Lascelles now steps up. Come on, be quicker, Jamal. Be quicker. And then he just rolls it to Manquillo, who gives him it back. I mean, this is where we miss Fabian Schär because Lascelles is too slow on the ball. That's awful from Miggy, straight to a blue and white shirt. And Sheffield Wednesday now come on the attack. It's played for. Great play from Jamal Lewis. Lovely ball in. And Newcastle break now on the left-hand side with Matt Ritchie. Ritchie now, head up. He's got a great run from Joe Linton, but Ritchie slipped over and unfortunately couldn't keep the ball. That was a shame, that, because he looked up, he saw the run of Joe Linton, but he just slipped over. Anyway, Botman has it now for Newcastle. To Matt Ritchie. Ritchie to Bruno. Bruno now. Knocks it to Ritchie. Ritchie looking for an outlet. Finds Sven Botman now. Botman will bring it up slowly into Bruno's feet again. Brazilian turns and rolls it to Jamal Lascelles. Into Joe Willock now. Willock to Manquillo. Manquillo gives it back to Willock. Willock down the line to Miggy. It's not a great pass. And Sheffield Wednesday now have a break down the left-hand side because Manquillo is pushed up, of course, for that attack. But not many Wednesday players flying forward. One of them's gone down. I'm not sure what the hell happened there. And Lascelles slides in to make the tackle. Look, there's some players on this pitch, really. I mean, I'm not sure why the Sheffield Wednesday player's down. He's holding his knee. He's in quite some distress. I'm just looking now. Was he caught? Well, he ran into Jamal Lewis, to be fair. And then he went down. I think there's possibly a bit of play acting going on here. There's nothing wrong with him. It's Josh Windass, of course. We know that Windass can be a bit of a wind-up merchant. And of course, he'd be trying to waste time. He just ran into Lewis there. There was nothing really in that. But this is what we can expect now, guys, between now and the end of the game, because, we're going to get this all the time. And, you can't complain. We do it when we're a goal up, we're trying to hang on to a game. But, we are dominating the game. It's just we've got nothing yet has happened up front. And Josh Windass is looking at Murphy. I think he pointed at Lewis there and said, watch it. So let's just keep an eye on that. Windass can be a little bit of a prick sometimes, so we'll see how that develops. Ab says play acting and feigning injury is totally out of control, needs to be dealt with. I mean, we say it every week. Johnson with a throw for Sheffield Wednesday. 1-0 to Wednesday here at Hillsborough. And again, look how long they're taking with this throw in, man. But like I say, you can't blame them. They're a League One side. They're a goal ahead in an FA Cup third round match against a team that lies third in the Premier League. You can't blame them for it. Dubravka wastes no time in giving it to Sven Botman. He plays it out wide now to Jamal Lascelles. Lascelles brings it forward. Long ball on the ground to Chris Wood. He flicks it on to Miggy. Miggy's not strong enough. He's got to be stronger there, Miggy. He got ruled quite easily, and Wednesday now come forward. They've got a lot of players on this left-hand side, but he seems to be doing it all himself. Lewis comes across and wins the ball back. And now it's Bruno for Newcastle. And Newcastle trying to get into gear now. Out to Miggy on the right-hand side. Miggy now, he's got options either way. Manquillo on the right-hand side. He's got Willock in support. He's also got Bruno. Bruno left it. Wood is completely switched off. And, Manquillo kind of won the ball, but it's just not happening at the minute. Bruno now for Newcastle. Across to Joe Linton. He will run forward with the ball. He's got a lot of space, Big Joe here. Played back by Chris Wood. I'm not sure why he played that all the way back, but he did. Miggy now on the left foot. We know what he can do with that left foot. Joe Linton! And he's over the bar. He's trying to side foot it in there, but opportunities will come here, in my opinion. There's no doubt about it that opportunities will come. It's just, we have to take the opportunities. But to be honest, I mean, I don't know. And we've seen the Sheffield Wednesday goal again. I think, oh, God, that is tight. I think he's just onside, guys, if I'm openly honest. I think, when that ball was played in, he's just onside to give him the benefit of the doubt. But it's poor defending. It really is. And, we're a goal down because of it now. Bruno. Oh, Joe Linton got in the way, and he's through on goal. It's Windass, and it's 2-0, and we are in serious trouble now. It's awful from Newcastle again. My God, it's going back to the old days, this. It is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Darren Moore stays very, very calm, but inside he must be buzzing. It's Sheffield Wednesday 2, Newcastle United 0, and it's all going wrong for the Geordies today. We are looking absolutely rank. Just awful defending, guys. Lascelles' header. Joe Linton tries to win it. He heads it. Bruno tries to nod it down to Botman. Joe Linton puts his foot out, and that forces the error, and it's a wonderful finish by Windass. Really is. Played through, Windass is onside, and he takes it first time. Beautifully bends it into the corner past Dubravka. And Sheffield Wednesday have a 2-goal cushion now against the Maggies, and we are in serious shit. Awful. Shambolic play from Newcastle United. Eddie shakes his head, and rightly so. That was just rotten. And it's poor again, and we're 2-0 down on 66 minutes. Getting outplayed by a League One team, says David. I'm not sure we're getting outplayed. They've had 2 opportunities and scored them. We've had opportunities and missed. Simple as that. And I did say in the first half, when you're on top like we were, with the Isak chances, etc., when you're on top like that, you've got to score because you never know what might happen. And this is happening. So, it's awful. It really is. Lascelles brings it forward for Newcastle, plays it into Willock. He gets a lovely touch on it now to Miggy. Miggy then darts for the touchline, cuts it back. It's a poor pass by Miggy, well intercepted. Botman covering from Lascelles again. Lascelles' pace just isn't there. Ken says this is one where Eddie has to share the blame. We don't have the squad to make 8 changes. Well, against the League One side, I think... that can be debated, but I think, the way the game's gone, you're right. Bruno now for Newcastle, into Joe Linton. Joe Linton to Willock, back to Joe Linton. He's got nobody in support on the left-hand side, but he's done brilliantly. Big Joe cuts back in on his right, and just wide. Oh, that could have been 2-1, but brilliant defending. And you have to say, Sheffield Wednesday, when it's come to the crunch, some marvellous goalkeeping, and that was last-ditch defending. Joe Linton does brilliantly, gets it back onto his right, and the defender sticks a leg out and turns it away. And you know what? I mean, Trippier's coming on now, so we are. Jamal Lewis is the man coming off. And our real skipper coming onto the pitch now and see if he can make any difference here. But you know what it is? It's going to be a rough 20-odd minutes, this. I mean... It's just, it is disappointing. Trippier's going to take the corner immediately for Newcastle. We need a goal back quickly, though. We need a goal back. And I think, a lot of people are saying in the chat, this is reinforcements that we do need to improve the squad. There's no doubt about that. We knew that before. Oh, flicked on! And Bruno scores! And we're back in it! It's 2-1. It was a brilliant header from Chris Wood, to be fair. It was a marvellous save yet again from the goalkeeper. But Bruno was there just to stab it home, and it's 2-1. And he's now riling the Newcastle fans up again. We're back in it. Brilliant corner. Wood gets it. Well, Bruno's miles offside, to be fair, but there is no VAR, and Bruno's miles off. When Chris Wood heads that ball, Bruno is a yard offside. It's a great save. Bruno stabs it home, but of course there's no VAR. That would have been disallowed in the Premier League, no doubt about it. But there is no VAR here. The referee and linesman missed the offside, and we are back in it. It is 2-1. And it gives us an opportunity to really get back in this game now. As ball played down the line, and Miggy is away. Miggy on his left foot, plays it across. And Richie, just stumbled a little bit. But we win the ball back now with Joe Linton. Manquillo, who's gone out to the left-hand side now. Bruno Guimaraes for Newcastle. Plays it to Longstaff. Newcastle are back in this and back in the hunt. Joe Linton, little flick to Willock. Willock, not very strong at all. He's got to be better than that. That was horseshit. Long ball again. Botman takes it down, and Newcastle will build again. Botman, calm as you like, out to Richie on the left-hand side. Richie sees the runner. Chris Wood doesn't play it in. He plays it to Joe Linton. Joe Linton back to Bruno. Trippier screaming for the ball on the right-hand side. Gets it now. Quite far inside the pitch now. Gives it to Lascelles. Lascelles back to Trippier. Trippier into Bruno. Lovely little ball up. Miggy's gone on a run again. Bruno goes back to Trippier, though. Back to Bruno. Bruno now to Willock. Willock. It's all very intricate from Newcastle. Brilliant ball by Willock into Bruno. Bruno into Chris Wood. He's not quick enough. Nowhere near quick enough there to get on the end of that. And Newcastle really dominating now. It's getting spicy. Down the line for Willock. But Sheffield Wednesday will see that out for a goal kick. Good defending. But Newcastle, they've got 20 minutes left in this game. And there's one team in it now, as you'd expect the Premier League side trying to get back in it. It's interesting stuff. George, thank you very much for your £5 super chat. We have time to change the results. Toon. Absolutely, we do. 20 minutes. We're on top here. Blandable says Richie should have gone down in the box. You know what? When I saw that, he did. Richie was first to the ball, and then the defender, it sort of clipped him a little bit, but it took Richie an age to fall to the floor. So very interesting. But we've got a game on our hands now, guys. Wednesday 2, Newcastle 1. And Newcastle are the only team on the ball. Chris Wood with a terrible touch again. Wonderful work by Joe Linton to win the ball back again. He has been absolutely sensational in this match. He's been all over the place. Botman for Newcastle. He'll swing it to the right where Miggy's making a run. Will Miggy keep that in? No, he won't. It's just slightly overhit. Good attempt, though, by Sven Botman to get that ball in. Newcastle starting to up the pace now. Things are getting quicker, and Sheffield Wednesday are heavy breathing. 72% possession for Newcastle United, 16 attempts. 28% possession for Sheffield Wednesday with 6 attempts, I think I saw there. But Sheffield United will not rush these goal kicks or anything now. They know the tide is slightly turned in this game to Newcastle United now really dominating. Bruno now out to Manquillo. Manquillo's little head onto Joe Willock. Takes it down lovely, but he's not strong enough and he's lost the ball and given away a free kick. Joe Willock hasn't been great since he's come on the pitch, to be honest. Plenty of time to improve on that, though, and get us an equaliser. Wrexham hanging on by 4-3 against Coventry City. Martin Watson, thank you very much for your £4.49 super chat. Great commentary. Thank you very much. That's the free kick is going to roll out, and Dubravka goes sprinting after the ball now to get on with it. It's intense, but we knew it was going to be intense. These third-round ties, when you go to lower league opposition, it can be very intense. Botman swings it out wide for Kieran Trippier now. Trippier deep in his own half. Plays the ball on the half volley up to Chris Wood. He gets there brilliantly and nods it on. And Miggy now down the right-hand side. He's got Joe Linton inside him. Miggy, can he make the right decision here? Curls on his left foot. And the shot is wide. You can see what he's trying to do. He scored plenty of them this season, guys. So you can't really blame him for taking that shot on. He just couldn't get the whip around. I mean, it was coming back, to be fair to Miggy, but not in enough time. And it flew wide for a goal kick, which again, Sheffield Wednesday will not rush. As Eddie Howe on the sidelines, clapping his hands, really trying to get these players to go on. And again, I'm certainly not blaming Sheffield Wednesday for taking the time over the goal kicks. Of course they're going to. Let's be realistic about this. Long kick from the goalkeeper. Lascelles is out-muscled and the ball played long. Botman is under this, but you know, they are working so hard, Sheffield Wednesday, and now they're going to free kick for a foul by Botman. And again, Josh Windass in the thick of it, causing problems. Mary says, when it counts, Wood delivers. Mary, okay. Really don't want the replay, much rather straight to penalties. I'm not sure how that works, is it? Is it extra time and then a replay, or... I don't know. I don't know what the rules are in the FA Cup anymore. Changes all the bloody time. But anyway, the referee getting this wall back because I think Josh Windass is going to have a crack here. I mean, if Sheffield Wednesday get a third goal, it's good night Vienna. You know what I mean? It's all over. But he will try. He will certainly try and make. Ian says it goes straight to extra time penalty, so there's no replays. Interesting. Windass has hit the bar. And it's bounced around, and Dubravka punches it away. Wow. What a free kick from Josh Windass. Wow. I mean, holy moly. I don't know if Dubravka got a fingertip to that or not. The referee's given a foul anyway, but the free kick, if that went in, was a goal. Oh, he did. He got a fingertip to it. What a save that is from Dubravka. Absolutely brilliant stop from the Newcastle goalkeeper there, or it was 3-1. He's tipped it onto the bar with an absolutely incredible save. Botman now to Jamal Lascelles. He turns, rolls it to Trippier. Trippier looking for an angle for a pass. Has to go back to Sven Botman. All hands to the pump here for Sheffield Wednesday. Joe Linton manages to get it back to Botman. He had 3 Sheffield Wednesday players around him. And at the moment, we're struggling. Lascelles, we need to get forward. Yes, Josh Windass is Dean Windass's son. Chris Wood loses the ball. He can't hang on to it. And Sheffield Wednesday are in here. Lascelles has stepped up, and nowhere near should he have stepped up. Played across the goal line, and it's too far in front. And, well, they managed to keep it in. He's done really well to keep the ball in. And he's got a cross in, and a header just over the bar. Smith got his head on it, and that's really good from Sheffield Wednesday. But why was Lascelles trying to step up and play offside there? He was in no position to do that. Completely caught out, and it could have cost us another goal, to be honest. I mean, Jesus. But now we're coming forward with Joe Willock. Willock, he's got Miggy in support. Here is Almiron now. He's got Willock making a through run. He's only got Chris Wood in the box. It's a terrible ball from Joe Willock. Really lazy. Almiron now. Bruno looking for that killer pass. He's got it. Willock steps inside. Oh, and he blasted it straight off the Sheffield Wednesday player. And that wonderful defending again. I have to say, they are defending for their lives in certain situations, these Wednesday players. Unbelievable. I thought Willock was just going to lash that home on his left foot, and it didn't quite work out. Here's Trippier now. Rolls it in to Chris Wood. It's cleared away for a throw into Newcastle. Level with the 18-yard box. Sheffield Wednesday blown really hard now, the defenders, because they are being worked and worked, but have stood up to the challenge massively so far. Here is Joe Linton now, around 40 yards out. Again, Newcastle just trying to create that little bit of a gap to get through. Trippier plays it out to Miggy now. Miggy will roll this into Bruno. There's that little chip back from Bruno. Miggy, ball's bouncing around. He's got the ball across. It comes all the way to Matt Ritchie, who thumps a half volley, and it's blocked again. Manquillo has to go all the way back to get the ball. Sheffield Wednesday really defending for their lives here. And, hats off to them. The keeper's made some brilliant saves. There's been some brilliant blocks. We just try to get through. Lascelles, Botman into Bruno. Bruno's touch was a little bit heavy, but he's won the ball back really well. Bruno now, lovely little Cruyff turn, but he can't get round the Chef Wed player, saw it coming. Botman with a brilliant tackle as well. Tackles flying in, but Wednesday just let the ball go out because it's their throw in, and they're certainly not going to rush this. Congo Fox says, I don't know how it's humanly possible to defend Chris Wood. He's weak and can't hit a barn door. Looking at Darren Moore there, the Sheffield Wednesday manager. He must be curdling with nerves inside. He's not showing it. But my God, his team have put an effort in today. There's no doubt about it. And the way the second half's gone, I mean, they've had the two opportunities. They've had the free kick. They've really gone for it, Sheffield Wednesday. And, they've defended astutely. And now we're on the break here with Joe Willock. Miggy was through. Willock's looked very off the pace since he's come on, I have to say. Here's Bruno, again, trying to step through the Sheffield Wednesday players. He does so really well. Matt Ritchie, caught late, but no fouls as a referee. Joe Linton now, slightly behind Trippier, so he has to turn back. Sheffield Wednesday doing all they can here. Matt Ritchie, nice little dummy. And now Matt Ritchie breaks forward. He's looking for support, gets it from Trippier. Trippier inside now to Joe Willock. Willock. Bruno, around 40 yards out. Lascelles across to Botman. Botman now plays it into the box. There's nobody there, and chested back to the goalkeeper. We've got 10 minutes left plus injury time. It's still 2-1 to Sheffield Wednesday. They look like they're going to make a change. Certainly next time the ball goes out of play, that looks like it's going to happen. Dawson is in no hurry to take this goal kick. I mean, he's had that for about 20 seconds, to be fair. I mean, what is the rule on goalkeepers now? How long have they been given to get the ball? Because it seems like they can have it as long as they want these days. Dubravka now will roll that out to Manquillo on the left-hand side. Manquillo cuts inside. He's got to go back to Martin Dubravka, who goes back to Manquillo. Manquillo's got support up the left from Matt Ritchie. Ritchie now goes back down to Botman. We're pending our own half here. Botman then swings it out to the right to Kieran Trippier. Plays a first-time ball. It's a brilliant ball to Joe Linton. And Joe Linton's through. Joe Linton. Chris Wood. Oh, my fucking God. Fuck off. No way. He's ballooned it over the bar again from 6 yards out. What a ball that was by Trippier. It sets Joe Linton away, and he's through. Joe Linton then just holds up, rolls in Chris Wood, and he's ballooned it over the bar yet again. That is absolutely shambolic. He should never put a Newcastle shirt on again. What the hell was that, man? How many times has he, in the last few games, had opportunities like that, and he's kicked it over the bar? Nobody can defend him. Absolutely nobody. That is absolutely terrible. And over one person coming in this chat, sticking up for him. He is one of the worst strikers I have ever seen at this football club, man. Six yards out, and he manages. I mean, that's still in the air. That's going to land at St James's Park on Tuesday night with snow on the fucking thing. Absolutely shocking. It should be 2-2. There's no doubt about it. But we go again. 7 minutes plus stoppage time left. Willock breaking forward. He's got a man on the left-hand side. It's Javi Manquillo. Manquillo looked for Wood. It's kicked behind for a corner. Fabulous defending again. But my God, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know how any... Manquillo's down, holding his right ankle. Claims he was caught late. He's having to go at the referee, but he's got to try and get on with the game. He's really hobbling, Javi Manquillo. He's not in a good way. But he knows he can't afford to go down. He knows we've got to get on with the game. There's all sorts going on in that penalty area at the minute, and the referee's got to sort something out. Chris Wood is on the goalkeeper with Bruno. And I'm sure he'll be keeping an eye on that as the corner comes in. But I am fucking foaming, guys. I'm sorry to swear, but I am foaming with that. That was absolutely awful. How many times have we seen him do that in the last few games? In comes the corner. It's headed behind again as the keeper went to punch it. Dawson came out, but the defender wasn't taking any chances with that. And it's behind again. It's going to be taken from the same corner, same place for Kieran Trippier. I mean, I'm past Chris Wood. I honestly... I mean, I don't really care if he scores now. I'm sick of him missing opportunities like that. In comes the corner again. Right to the back post. Miggy on the volley. It's cleared away. It was a very weak volley by Miggy to try and play that ball back in. But Matt Ritchie has it now. He plays it up the line to Bruno. Bruno's in a very good position to get a good cross in. It is a good cross. It's flicked away. It's headed down. It's Joe Willock. It's bouncing around again for another corner. Sheffield Wednesday are just defending for their absolute lives here. And hats off to them so far, guys, because they are put, credit where credit's due. You know, all the pressure they're soaking up here, they are throwing themselves in front of the ball and doing everything they can. In comes the corner again, the near post this time. It's headed away again. Ritchie gets ahead to it. It's bouncing around. Bruno now for Newcastle. Trippier. Sorry, it's Miggy. It's now with Bruno. It's out to Ritchie. Ritchie, clip back in again. It's taken down by Botman. It's cleared away. Joe Linton. Bruno again. Miggy now. It was a good run by Matt Ritchie. Miggy didn't find him. Here's Joe Linton now for Newcastle. Help from Trippier is available. Trippier now to Bruno. Bruno again looks to play the ball in. It's headed away yet again. Trippier now for Newcastle United. Rolls it across to Joe Willock. Willock now brings it forward. Now to Joe Linton. Joe Linton edging closer to the penalty area. Here he is. Plays it out wide to Joe Willock. Willock inside to Bruno. He's got to come inside now and does. He's got Trippier in support. He goes even further to Miggy. Miggy's got the overlap from Kieran Trippier now. Can Trippier get the ball across? No, he pulls it back for Miggy. Miggy plays it low. Willock touches it back. Matt Ritchie over the bar again. Do these players even practice shooting, man? 12-man Toon, thank you for your £4.49. A so-called Premier League striker should be drilling that in with his laces. Indefensible. Get him gone. Sick of it. And again, Matt Ritchie's just done the same thing from the edge of the box. Do they even practice shooting? Hell, he actually had all the time in the world there just to belt that into the net. God, it doesn't have to be worldies all the time. Just hit the sodden target, man. Really frustrating. Really, really, really frustrating. James is saying it's not the end of the world if we're out of this competition. Surely the board can see we still need... It is... No, it's not the end of the world, James, but it's bloody frustrating, man. We should be winning these games. I mean, it's like the FA Cup these days has a fucking voodoo on us. It really does. Like a real voodoo sign. 2 minutes plus injury time to go. Really. I mean, we've only got ourselves to blame, guys. We've missed some incredible opportunities in this game, both first and second half. We do only ourselves to blame. It's not over yet, but, the chances we have thrown away, well, that's offside. I mean, Windass is yards offside. Linesman looks like somebody out of GLS. Wow. Anyway, Botman has the ball now for Newcastle United. Lascelles to Trippier. Trippier, long. He goes long and looks for the runs, but there isn't any there. Miggy now brings the ball down. It's a poor, heavy touch by Almiron, and the Sheffield Wednesday player just eases him out the way for a throw-in. And again, they're not going to rush the throw-in, and why should they? Bruno now for Newcastle just controls the ball, steadies the ship, and gets them ready to go again. Botman. Botman swings it to Joe Willock. He crosses the halfway line now for Newcastle. Willock inside to Bruno. Bruno now looks for somebody to make a run. Nobody is. He's having to cut back. Gives it to Matt Ritchie. Ritchie's got support on the left-hand side through Manquillo. Javi Manquillo now cuts back on his right foot. Rolls it into Bruno. Bruno now to Joe Linton. Rolls it back to Botman. Botman back to Joe Linton. Joe Linton the Sheffield Wednesday player runs into him and goes down like he's being shot. Get up, you absolute tit. Joe Willock. We're not going to kick the ball out for that. I'm sorry. No way. It's not a head injury. Joe Willock now. Willock on the ball. Matt Ritchie screaming for the ball at the other side. He goes on the outside of his foot to Joe Linton. Joe Linton then runs it into Matt Ritchie. Ritchie tries to play the ball across and it goes out for a corner. We have to make this count now. We really have to make this count. I mean, there's a Wednesday player down holding his knee, saying he needs treatment. Of course he does. I mean, he ran into Joe Linton. 6 minutes of injury time, guys. Oh, it was a knee on knee. Like, that's painful. At 6 minutes of injury time, stand between us and another third round exit in the FA Cup. I mean, say what you want. You could turn around and say, we're doing well in the league. Let's go for Europe and let's go for the Carabao. But you don't want to lose these games, man. And if anything, it just proves how weak we are when we haven't got our first 11 out. These fringe players just aren't good enough. We saw it against Tranmere. We struggled in that game. And then Chris feckin' Wood. I mean, my God. Lives up to his surname. He is he's wooden. Absolutely wooden. But in a way, this is a message to the owners that, there is a lot of work to do in strengthening this squad, because this squad is just not good enough. We don't have a good enough squad at all to compete when we need to rotate and give some players a rest. We don't have that quality to come in. And that's where the problem there lies. We don't have the quality. Please do subscribe if you're new to the channel, guys, and like what you see. Thank you very much. Here's Trippier's in swinger. Joe Linton goes up for it. It's bouncing around in the penalty area now. It's cleared away again. It's rolling around. Wednesday managed to get it away. Manquillo now for Newcastle. Matt Ritchie will just float a little cross into the 6-yard area again. Lascelles is up. Didn't even get his head to that. And the ball is in the air again. Manquillo takes that down nicely and then goes back to Martin Dubravka. 4 minutes of injury time are left between Newcastle and an exit from the FA Cup again in the third round. Ritchie now will thump a ball across the field towards Joe Linton. Lascelles, rises. He's playing as a striker now to try and get this equaliser. Bruno goes all the way back to Javi Manquillo again. Manquillo nips it to Botman. Botman's got Kieran Trippier screaming for the ball on the right-hand side. Here is Kieran Trippier now for Newcastle. Plays it back to Bruno. Bruno now moves forward, looking for help again. Can't find it. Trippier whips the ball across to Botman. Botman then steps up, plays a low ball into Lascelles. He can't control it, strangely enough. Now, Trippier. Bruno again. That's the free kick, surely. He's with play on. Botman now. I would have preferred a free kick there to float the ball in. But here's Joe Willock now, making headway into the box. Plays it into Wood. Wood knocks it. Why did he turn with that, man? Now Matt Ritchie again. Bruno. We're knocking on the door again. But at the minute, nothing. Here is Matt Ritchie. He's got Bruno in support again. Bruno looking for that outlet. Can only roll it back to Trippier at the moment. Trippier outside of the boot across to Javi Manquillo. Manquillo now out to Joe Willock on the left-hand side. The overlap is coming from Manquillo, but he goes into Richie. Richie turns. He was in a space to get across, and there comes the cross. Too high for everybody. Headed away again. Sheffield Wednesday defending for their lives. Absolute lives. Bruno for Newcastle now. To Trippier. Trippier now. What can he do? Nothing. Turns it back to Bruno. Bruno trying to advance forward, but Wednesday have everybody back, and understandably so. Willock now for Newcastle. Put the ball in the bloody box. What is Chris Wood doing, man? Get in the box, you melonhead. Trippier's ball in. It's a very deep one to the back post. It's going to come all the way to Matt Ritchie. Ritchie turns, rolls it to Bruno. He goes left-footed. It's a high looping cross, and the goalkeeper takes it and pounces on the floor, and he will take up as much time as he possibly can. And it now looks as if Newcastle are falling away from the FA Cup again. And it's not going to be our year. One match in the FA Cup again this year. As we look at the Newcastle fans looking very unhappy. Quite rightly so. There's some of them players who don't deserve to wear the shirt. Not because of effort or anything like that. They don't deserve to wear the shirt because they're just not good enough. And Sheffield Wednesday are going to make 2 changes here to run the clock down. You know, you can talk all you want about effort and things like that and putting in a shift. But when the quality's not there, you can't win a football match on effort alone. You have to have that quality. And Newcastle United, when we don't have our first 11, just simply don't have the quality. It's just not there. And we've seen it in cup competitions this season where we've left certain players out and we've struggled. You know, we made changes against Crystal Palace in the Carabao, against Tranmere. We struggled in them games. We got through Crystal Palace on penalties. The Bournemouth game, we got through one own goal. You know, the changes just... I mean, I don't know. But Sheffield Wednesday are really, really now trying to hold on to the ball here. Bruno getting back. He'll probably have to go back to Dubravka. He does indeed. It's short, but Dubravka's out. Rolls it back to Bruno. 20 seconds left of injury time. Sheffield Wednesday really, really on the edge now. Long ball played again forward towards. It's a lovely little flick on actually by Botman. Joe Linton plays the ball across. And yet again, Sheffield Wednesday, the first team that are at the ball. There's no threat in that penalty area at all. Here's Almiron for Newcastle. Goes to the left to Joe Linton. We've got to hurry this up now. Joe Linton down the line, back for Miggy again. Almiron now. He's got Joe Linton in support. We've got to put the ball in the box for Christ's sake. Joe Linton does put it in. It's a low ball in. It's cleared away again. Surely that's it. Surely that is it. The referee pointing to his watch saying there's still time, guys. There's still time. Trippier launches forward for Newcastle United. It's headed away again, and well played to Sheffield Wednesday. They have defended like man mountains, and it's a free kick to Newcastle. Well, are we going to get a bit of late drama here? We have a free kick, and the referee is coming across to have a word with somebody on the touchline. It's the 4th official. I'm not sure what's going on there. But this looks like a defeat, guys, unfortunately. This is our last chance. It's as simple as that. Once they clear this, the game's over. We've got to get on the end of this. We've got to score. Simply got to score. Sheffield Wednesday on the brink of a fabulous victory for them. Here we go. In comes the corner. In comes the... Oh, it's way over the head of Manquillo. He's going to manage to keep it in play, but he's trying to play it back across. And Sheffield Wednesday come away with the ball. How much extra time has been played here? Flicked on. Chance cleared. It's going to come to Bruno on the left-hand side. I don't know where this referee's get, although there was an injury, wasn't it, to the Wednesday player? Willock. Willock turns. Cleared away again by Wednesday, and that should do it, guys. Dear God. There it is. We're out of the FA Cup. It's all over. Sheffield Wednesday have beaten 3rd place in the Premier League, Newcastle United, by 2-1. And you have to say, well played, Sheffield Wednesday. Well played. They defended for their lives in that game. And the goalkeeper, absolutely brilliant today for them. But however, You know, you have to look at Newcastle United and say, what a woeful, woeful performance. You know, we listen, we had loads of time on that ball. We had loads of possession. And again, we are absolutely woeful. Billy, I mean, sum that up for me, mate.
Shambles. Absolute shambles. Not good enough defensively. Goalkeeper wasn't good enough. I thought if Nick Pope played today, I think he saves both throws. I think he reads the second one, and I think he comes out for the ball for the first one. So I blame Dubravka for the first, as well as Lascelles for not being clinical enough and trying to get the ball away, just standing there. And forward, oh my God, Chris Wood. Jesus Christ, the man isn't good enough to be.
I mean, look, there's nothing we can say. I'm done with even trying to look at Chris Wood and say, oh, you know what, let's not be too harsh on him, because quite frankly, Billy, he was horseshit. He is not good enough and should be nowhere near a starting lineup for Newcastle United.
I think the coaching team needs to have these lot in for shooting practice, because the amount of times these lot get shots where they're leaning back, we've seen Joe Linton do it, we've seen Richie do it, we've seen Wood do it today alone. You know, and it's happened lots of times in the previous 3 or 4 weeks. Something's amiss, and then they're not seeing it. And if they're not seeing it, they should be seeing it, because I can see it. Everyone can see it, but the coaching staff can't see it. They should be on that pitch tomorrow, learning to shoot with leaning forward when they're shooting. It's stuff, some of it.
How many times, though, Billy, have we seen this? Have we seen Chris Wood do this in the last 3 or 4 games? He's been in acres of space. He's had time to take a touch and bury the ball, but he hasn't even learned from that. He hasn't even learned from that and continues to try and hit it first time and balloon it over the bar. What on earth is going on?
He did it against Bournemouth. I think he did it against... Who else did he do it against? May have been Leicester or Leeds, someone like that. And he did it again today. It's horrific. It's horrific. Not good enough. It's not good
he should be nowhere near a Newcastle United shirt. Absolutely nowhere near. 12-man Toon, thank you for your £4.49 super chat. He says, at the end of the day, the Deadwood played, the Deadwood let us down. Listen, I'm sorry. It can't get any worse. I mean, that was just dreadful. Dreadful. The
goal itself, you can blame Lewis for not getting out to stop the cross. You can blame Botman for not stopping the second cross. And you can blame Lascelles for standing there watching the striker stroke it into a net. But you can also blame Dubravka for just standing on his near post and not even attempting to come out for the ball. So,
if we look at it, I mean, we had so much possession. And let's face it, we should have buried them. We should have buried Sheffield Wednesday today, the chances that we had. We had way more chances to bury the game.
For once this season, we've been outworked and been beaten by a hungry side. That's the first time we can say that this season. Really can.
I mean, I'm not taking... Listen, let's not take anything away from Sheffield Wednesday either. Their goalkeeper was marvellous today, and the defending was incredible. The defending was brilliant. I mean, we praise our defence, you know, for backs to the wall stuff and the way we, the likes of Cher, etc., throw themselves in front of the ball. That's exactly what Wednesday did to us today. So you have to give them credit and say, you know, well done, guys. You deserve it, because they do. You know, they battled so well. You know, Botman didn't look himself, but Botman's playing with players who are just simply not good enough. You know, he can't do everything himself. And it just proves what a wonderful partnership he's got with Fabian Cher. But, you know, I'm taking nothing away from Sheffield Wednesday because of the way they defended. You know, fantastic, free kick from Josh Windass could have gone in. That was a wonderful save, by the way. But off the bar, you know, we shouldn't have given them opportunities to score. It was awful defending, Billy. It really was.
Yeah, it was. It was really, really bad. Lots of players haven't covered themselves in any glory tonight. Lots of players that are on the fringes that don't get regular games. Not many of them, if any of them, kind of put their hand up to say that we're ready to come in if people are injured. Murphy was appalling. Lewis, okay, he got better as the game went on, but he was kind of bad second half as well. Lascelles was piss poor again. Mankier wasn't too bad. You can't fault his effort, but he's not good enough as a footballer. Chris Wood was just shit, full stop. You know, these players that should be putting their hand up saying we want to play, but if they play like that every week, they're not going to play.
Yeah, I mean,
and what it says to me is the board needs to get the checkbook out and
absolutely,
5 players.
Yeah, but we knew that, to be honest. We knew that. We said before this game, you know, the squad needs to be better. The squad isn't good enough, and I think we know that. That has simply just been highlighted today. we've got a new member, Mark the Celt. Thank you very much, Mark, for welcome to the family, mate. Thank you so much. Neil says, can you agree with me, Paul? If you want to win silverware, you have to play your best players, no matter who you play. I bet Howe plays his first team against Leicester in the League Cup. Well, we have to. He's not going to risk going out of the League Cup. There's no doubt about it after going out the FA Cup now. But I agree. Look, I'm sick of all these massive changes, especially for us, because we, as well as we're doing in the Premier League, Billy, we don't have a good enough squad. We know these fringe players are not good enough to come in and do a job. We've seen it time and time again, and nothing seems to change.
No. A few questions need to be asked also. Why wasn't Callum Wilson there today? I mean, is he ill again? We know Max is ill. But,
yeah.
We're past the time now. We should be past the time where we're bringing on Chris Wood as a sub.
Screaming out. There's no way Callum Wilson misses that chance that Wood balloons over the bar. I mean, Callum Wilson would have, controlled that and just tucked it in. We know that he's a fabulous finisher, but he's not there again today. Now, a lot of people are saying that Eddie needs to be questioned in the chat, Billy. We'll obviously talk about it more on the review show tomorrow. But does he need to be questioned? I mean, does this one lie at Eddie's door as well?
You've got to put a certain amount of his door for sure. I mean, he's the one who picked the team. He's the one who picked the team. He's the one that's sending them to the coaching staff not to give them shooting practice. I mean, Chris Wood's a centre forward, for Christ's sake. He's having shooting practice every day of the week. Every day of the week, when we see him, he's leaning back and ballooning over the bar. So,
well, even the one from Richie, edge of the box. There's nobody around him. He has a perfect chance just to bend that in, and he blasts it over the bar. I mean, the finishing is just so dreadful. I don't know what else to say, apart from, we'll praise till the cows come home of the performances in the league this season. We've been wonderful in the league, and we'd be wonderful in the, we're almost, touch wood, in the semi-final of a Carabao Cup if you get through Leicester on Tuesday. But you've got to start asking questions of this squad.
Yeah, but look back at it, Paul. Look at the League Cup games. Think about the 3 games you've played. We've not been wonderful in the League Cup.
No, we haven't. And I did mention that in commentary there. Tranmere, we were terrible. Crystal Palace, penalties. And then Bournemouth, we got through on an own goal. It hasn't been great. And, we need that has to be highlighted, that when certain players are left out of this squad, we have no quality left. And this has got to be a message. We're not going to go over the top and, like I'm sure certain fans will, but we're not going to go right over the top. But listen, you've got to criticize when you've got reason to criticize. And we do today, because those players who replaced the start 11 simply aren't good enough. And it's got to be highlighted.
And another issue that I'll have to say now, he shouldn't have been playing Martin Dubravka today. Martin Dubravka couldn't wait to get out of the door in the summer. First game he can play properly, that's he should have played Caldalo today. It's not fair on Caldalo to sit on the bench all year. Someone walks away from the club, praises the club he's at, comes back and virtually straight back in. To me, that isn't fair. And for what he did today, you can put him at blame for some of the goals, not really the situation for the second one. And as I say, the first time, not coming out and clearing up. I think Eddie's made a bit of a mistake there with loyalty wise, because we know what Dubravka's loyalty is like.
It is a strange one. There's no doubt about that. And, that questions have to be asked. But, I mean, for me, did Eddie Howe slightly disrespect Sheffield Wednesday and in the team that he picked, thinking, or is he just sometimes a little bit sort of, blindsided by the rest of the squad, thinking that they're good enough to come in and do a job, because clearly they're not. And surely Eddie needs to realise this, that they are not. He's got to play a strong side if we have a chance of winning. Because these, the likes... I mean, Elliot Anderson wasn't great today. Murphy, God's sake, he was awful. Awful. He had one good shot in the second half, which the keeper made a great save, because that was moving through the air, and he was going the wrong way at one stage, and he got back. It was a wonderful save. Chris Wood, absolutely terrible. Really bad. Really, really bad. And I don't know what to say anymore. Some of these players, Lascelles, absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. I thought Manquillo did okay today, to be fair to him. But Manquillo, for me, isn't a bad player. He just, when he gets runs of games, he's all right. I don't worry about him. But some of them, holy hell's teeth, man. Absolute garbage. But what do you do?
The thing is, every man and his dog knows when you draw a lower league side away from home in the cup, they're going to come at you hammer and tongs. They're not going to be beaten by hunger or energy or anything. You've got to be better than them football wise. You've got to put the work in to do it first, though. You've got to earn the right to do that. I don't think we did that today. Today.
I mean, look, there's a lot of people saying Wood is terrible. I mean, Wood, for me, I thought League One is about his level now, but clearly on today, he couldn't even make an impact against Sheffield Wednesday in 45 minutes. He's absolutely garbage.
He played one or two nice little flicks, to be fair to him, but he's not in the.
Well, yeah, but how many times are we going to say that, Billy? How many times are we going to say, he made some nice? He's a striker. He's there to put the ball in the net, and when he gets the opportunities, it's like he's playing. If he was playing rugby, Christ, he'd score so many points for. He should maybe go and play rugby. He should go and play rugby because he's not a footballer. He's terrible. Zishan, thank you very much for your $17.99 super chat. He says, well played, Sheffield Wednesday. We were rubbish, but one positive is it's the end of the wood. Let's now concentrate on the league and Leicester on Tuesday, and hopefully Eddie gets some money now for reinforcements. Well, we have to be knocking on the door now of the owners and saying, look, come on, guys. I've had to give my players a rest because of the competition on Tuesday that we're in as well. I was hoping I wouldn't have to change. I wouldn't have to bring them on in this game. But there is ample reason why we need to strengthen, and we need to strengthen soon.
Exactly, and this is how you got to look at it. Their first goal, 3 times we had a chance to put our bodies on the line and get the ball away. Yeah, didn't put a challenge in. Yeah, every time the ball went in their penalty area, their players were dying to get the ball away. They were diving in front of boots. They didn't care. Hook or by crook, they were getting the ball away from the goal. You know, it's about urgency, and they wanted it more than we did. Simple as that.
You could see that in the defending. I mean, I don't know what the hell was the matter with Willock when he came on, but he didn't seem to want it at all tonight.
No,
it was Willock looked like he didn't want to come on the pitch, and then when he was on it, he looked way off the pace, absolutely way off the pace. Steve Mallam, thank you for your £4.49. He says, enjoyed the commentary, if not the football. Cheers, Paul. Off to Dubai with work tomorrow, so we'll miss Leicester. Hope you will enjoy that more. Thanks, Steve. Really appreciate that. And another £5 from Robert Morris. Great commentary, Paul. Wood's contract needs to be terminated. He's a joke. Kuol should have been given the chance in this game instead of rushing him out on loan. That's an interesting point. But listen, Eddie's always had a long-term plan.
It'd have been too physical for Kuol. I mean,
yeah, he needs time to build up for the English game, doesn't he? I mean, he's not there. Look, I mean, we'll go through the game in much more detail on our match review tomorrow. Let the dust settle, so to speak, on things. But I don't think our opinions are going to change very much. If I'm openly honest, Billy, we were absolutely rotten. That much possession and that many chances you have in a game, you need. And how many times have we said it on our shows, Billy, that you need to have, you've got to replace quality with quality. It has to be. And if you haven't got that quality, coming off the bench to replace the players that, need a rest, you're going to struggle. And boy, oh boy, did we have some chances and just prove that we are not good enough. There was players out there who were, given an opportunity, Billy, given a massive opportunity to play today. And Eddie would have said, come on, guys, show me what you can do. Prove to me that you should be around the first team. But if I was Eddie Howe now, Billy, in that dressing room, I'd be going ballistic. I know he probably isn't. Oh, well, we don't know. I mean, apparently he is quite annoyed behind the scenes when things aren't going well. But, he should be in there saying to those players, you've let me down. You've let the club and fans down today because I gave you your opportunity and you've thrown it back in my face by putting in a performance like that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Those that came into the side today, because we can give the ones that have been playing all year, they've only lost one game until today, a little bit of a leeway. But the ones that came in today, the only two that you can say come up with any credit at all for work rate alone is Richie and Mankio. Yeah. The other 3 or 4 were absolute dog shit. Absolute dog shit.
Spike, thank you for your £10 super chat, mate. It can't be serious for cup games playing that team. Look, we were surprised. I think I didn't expect as many changes as he made. But you know what? The worry was in me more so because of the players that were coming through. We know aren't good enough. And I'm sick of Jacob Murphy now. I really am. I mean, He is just stinking the place out. Wood is stinking the place out. Get them out the door, Billy. Find them clubs. Look, if it means we've got to send them out on loan or whatever for the rest of the contract, just say to the opposition teams, look, if wages are a concern for you, we'll help out with your wages. We can afford to do that. Just say to them, we'll pay so much percentage of the wage while they're on loan with yourselves. Just get them out and get some fresh, hungry players in the door who are the same quality as what we've got in the first 11.
And hungry players too. You know, there's too many out there today. I thought the game was won before we started, and they were a bit surprised by the way that Sheffield went. And they shouldn't have been, because it's every cup tie you ever see where a big team goes to a lower league team. For the first 20 minutes at least, you get an onslaught of effort and energy and leaving the feet in. We had it with Tranmere, didn't we? For instance, but to kind of sit on your laurels thinking, well, they're only League One, because that's what some of them were doing. You could see it.
Yeah. Foxy says, Howe has to rotate. It's easy to criticise the lineup now. Yes, that's what we're saying, though, Foxy. He does have to rotate, but you know, the players, this is what we're talking about. The rest of the squad is not good enough. Yes, he has to rotate some, but I think the amount of changes he made today, it disrupted the flow of the team. We didn't combine very well. You know, Joe Linton was sensational today. He was absolutely all over the pitch and really unlucky not to score. But, you know, take that away and you've got nothing around you. You know, you're looking up for help and you're looking up for somebody to inspire, and there was nobody. You know, Matt Ritchie gave it all today. He was his usual fired up self. But, you know, when we're looking at Matt Ritchie, etc., to come in and do a quality job, it's not going to happen like that. That will not happen, because they aren't good enough to replace what's already on the starting 11. And that's why this has to be a major call out to bring maybe 3 or 4 in this window and say, look, we really need to improve this squad because we haven't got the quality on the bench. If we get a couple of injuries, we're in trouble, especially our front line. And, you know, it's worrying, Billy. It is worrying on that display what we've got should we get a few injuries, because we haven't got the quality. And I'm not going to go at Eddie Throton or Eddie this, or we know where the problems are, but I'm going to call out a poor performance when I see it. And when Chris Wood misses from 6 yards like that on a regular basis, he does not deserve to be in that team. He just doesn't. No, and I would rather have one of the kids. I would rather have Dylan Stevenson up there than Chris Wood. It's just a fact of matter. He's not good enough, and the wage he's on is just it beggars belief.
Extortion. He's stealing a living. I don't know if he wore a mask at the interview or what, but I know it's ridiculous. And the time's got to be coming now where he's shipped out the door. I don't know, because if anyone's seen him, they ain't going to want him, are they? Let's be honest.
Yeah, but listen, at the end of the day, we're against the League One side. We should be beating the League One side. There is no question in my mind about it. We should be, you know, I'm not saying have easy games, because they will make it tough for you, as Sheffield Wednesday did today. And, you know, you see that time and time again with these lower league teams. They will put in a fight. They will put in a battle. They will do what they have to do to get through. And that's why I said in the second half, you know, Sheffield Wednesday will hang on to the ball and take it as long as they can. And I didn't blame them for that. Jake's a Sheffield Wednesday fan, and he says, and you thought it was going to be easy. Nobody thought it was going to be easy. I think what we were saying, Jake, is that maybe it's, you know, being third in the Premier League, we should be beating League One teams. I'm sure if you were in a Premier League position and you played a League One side, you'd be looking to that same thing. But hats off to you guys. I've already praised you numerous times, Jake, so I don't know whether you've heard that. But you guys were fabulous today. You guys battled, you fought, you wanted it more than us. The defending was just incredible. Some of the saves the goalie made, some of the defending throwing themselves in front of the ball. It was just incredible. So it is what it is. It is what it is. We're out. And now we've got to quickly forget this, Billy, and get our heads right for Tuesday.
Well, I hope they don't forget it. I hope it inspires them to think, well, we can't let the fans down again, and go out and give Leicester a good old audience on Tuesday, because the fans deserve that now after that.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Billy, thanks for coming on, matey, and we'll catch you tomorrow for the match review.
I will do, mate. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, buddy. So there you go. That was Billy's thoughts on the game, and well, similar to what my thoughts were. We just simply weren't good enough. The finishing wasn't good enough. Nothing about today was good enough, unfortunately. But you know, Sheffield Wednesday, they fought, they battled, they scrapped for everything, and when it came to having to defend, they defended like warriors, absolute warriors. And congratulations to them today, because they do deserve it. We had chances, we didn't take them, and now we end up looking absolute muppets. But Sheffield Wednesday, you know, if they can keep that going in their league form, they'll get promoted, no problem at all, because they've got some good players there, but they've also got a very good goalkeeper, fantastic defence, who really put up a fight today and did all they could to get through. For us, it's a reality check. If anything, it's a reality check. It just proves that, you know, Sheffield Wednesday, well, wanted it more. But we need players. We need that quality to replace quality. Simple as that. Because if we continue to do that, I'm sorry, it's just not going to be good enough. We need a bigger squad. But I guess we know that. We knew that before anyway. You know, a lot of these fringe players for Newcastle United are basically from the Bruce era. We know that and before. So there's a lot of things need to change, and it will change in time. But I think this, again, is a huge wake-up call to the owners to say, right, you know, yes, everything's going fabulous in the league. It's going well in the League Cup. But when we have to make changes, my God, we're just not there. But best of luck to Sheffield Wednesday moving forward. Absolutely fantastic for them. I really do hope you continue your league form, you get your promotion, and you have a good cup run, because you deserve it. Really well played. But that is it for the watch along, guys. Before you leave, please do hit that like button. It does help us move up search results and helps the channel get recognized. And of course, if you're new, please hit the subscribe button. Free to do so. Come and be part of the community, whether you're a Newcastle fan or not. It's a family channel, this, for everybody to take part in football chat and things like that. So please become a subscriber if you're new. Hit the bell. They'll let you know when we go live, upload, or we schedule a live showing. And you can become a member if you hit the join button as well, just underneath. But thank you to the new members. Thank you as well for all the super chatters today. As usual, you've been fantastic. Thank you to the mod squad again. Brilliant work behind the scenes, keeping the chat nice and flowing. And mainly thank you to you guys for spending the afternoon or the early evening, well, unfortunately, watching that debacle and listening to the commentary. It's been interesting, to say the least. But thank you very much. Really appreciate all your support. We'll see you tomorrow for the match review. That's going to be interesting. Have a brilliant Saturday evening, guys, and we'll catch you tomorrow. In the meantime, good night and take care.